well, maybe like the Mortal Kombat community is like totally different, but like I know like when you play, like you hate the other person.
Oh yes,
right.
I'm
but like
full of rage.
when I'm playing, like when I'm at my best, like I'm chilling with the other player.
Yeah.
Like we're just hanging out. And, like like a lot of times, even especially in Guilty Gear, like my profile first of all said, so when you would start up the game with me, it would say, don't skip intro to be cool. So if we both didn't skip the intro,
you knew you were having a
it's
good
like,
match.
yeah, we're gonna chill.
We're gonna
You know,
chill.
we're gonna have it, like we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
But like I've had so many fights where it's like, yeah, like we do goofy things. And
Yeah.
like we'll fight too.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, it's in ranked.
Yeah.
And we'll fight, but like, I'll do some goofy stuff. I'll throw a taunt out after getting a move, and it's like, yeah, like it's just kind of.
I think fighters are one of the they definitely do that. Like you'll talk like, and even like I've been in fighting like where you're talking shit and stuff and like you're mastering, but like at the end of the day, like when the match ends, you'll be like, yo, GG, dude, like cool game. There is no like animosity in a fighter. Like I mean, obviously no absolutes.
Yeah.
But which so it's I don't think it's linked to the PvP. I honestly have no fucking clue what links together like that.
Hello, your computer has virus.
Hello, chicken ricky. Bomb has been planted. I am on my way. Fatality. You must construct additional pylons. Counter. Headshot.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Gamers, it's me, your inner Goku. You must resist pre-ordering. You must resist pledging to that Kickstarter. I know it's hard. Its power level, it's too strong. But you have to resist. It reminds me of when I fought Frieza on planet Namek. Oh, she or he was so powerful. But I had to keep pushing forward. Don't do it, gamer.
I thought at first, when I first heard like the first couple of words of that, I thought you were doing SpongeBob.
Fucked up SpongeBob.
That was actually pretty good.
Really? Like
Yeah.
Goku?
Yeah, that's not
I
bad.
do want to do like.
Yeah, I
don't know.
think we could go. Yeah, we could bring out SpongeBob one day.
Yeah.
Really terrified. Then we'll have to change.
I'm SpongeBob. He's Sponge Rob. He's the Macy's Day Parade.
He's a
SpongeBob.
horrifying,
fucked up.
terrifying creature. He's like fucking. What's that? The like where they do that weird makeup. You ever seen that on TikTok?
No.
They do like this. I forget what it's called, but they do like a weird makeup that like it's like skin colored makeup.
Yeah.
And they like do. And they, like, put, like, black
Uncanny
around.
Valley.
Yes.
Uncanny Valley. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and they like stand in
That's
the
what
background
Hot Bins
smiling
is.
and shit. Dude,
Hot Bins is Uncanny Valley.
what is it?
Hot Bins next to Dark Side.
100%. That place is
That
not
place,
real.
that's
It's
not
full
real.
of Uncanny Valley people.
Have you seen my? Yeah, you seen it on my video with the.
No, I haven't. Yeah,
Sarah
it's-
wants to go in there.
No.
I said,
no,
no,
don't
you're
go
not
in there.
coming
You're
out.
Yeah, it's the Uncanny Valley version of you.
You'll
will.
work there.
Yeah, they're going to take you and they're going to
Yeah.
release a new version of you.
I'm
out.
quitting my job. I'm going to work at Hot Bins.
Yeah, no, those are good. Actually, the horror TikTok.
Yeah.
Have you seen like the horror side of TikTok?
Not really. No.
It's actually really fucking
Really?
good, dude. I watched one today where this guy like walked into his house and there's a person in his bed, but it's like all like the people do like no noise and like
Okay.
there's some really good production, like
shit.
crazy because it's so short
Yeah.
that they can really like
I like
cram
that.
a lot of shit in there.
Yeah.
And like I've seen some really creepy ones like that scare me. I'm like, oh shit,
Okay.
that was fucking frightening. Like, and I get it. Like every once in a while, my algorithm shifts to horror talk, and I got to make sure I have the lights on so I don't get scared. No, they're good. And there's a couple of them. I saw that, and there's another guy I've been seeing lately who he does like it's him and then himself talking to him like
Yeah.
in a side profile. I don't know if you've seen him at all. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
He just does like these like very like it's like these like deep like conversations like with himself.
Yeah.
But I think it's just his voice. He has some like
Unsettling.
northeastern accent. Maybe it's like Boston or something. I don't know. But he has like a
Maine?
light twinge or
Yeah.
something, and he's got a very like deep stoic voice, and he's just like talking to himself. Like he had one about like agoraphobia or something like that. Like he was
Okay.
talking about like he's like, well, what if it's raining outside? He's like, I have windshield wipers. Like it's just these very simple conversations and shit that go on, but he does like these like they're really cool. Like I said, I really enjoy that. Oh yeah, you got to put down your orb. Put down your orb. And it's beginning.
Have an orb?
Yeah, I have one in already. I
have
my
one of
orb.
yours?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But no, I really like that. It reminds me. I feel like you don't see that on there. I almost called it Vine. Remember Vine? Vine was that a lot. But Vine felt like that more. Vine felt like it had more production than TikTok. But maybe it
did.
was because TikTok has a lot more younger people on it, whereas Vine felt like, or maybe we were just younger, so everyone seemed our age. And
I think
that
it's
was
like maybe also it's like yeah like so that was like around like 2014 2013 which
Yep.
was just like a weird time in general. Like early 2010s were weird.
Yeah.
Also, I do have a question for you that's totally unrelated to
is
anything that I've
are
had
we
prepared.
instantly moving into nobody cares?
No, not at all. When you think of 5 years ago,
Yeah, no.
you think of
those aren't real.
2015, right?
Yes, yeah.
You think of 2015?
Sometimes I think even further back than that.
Okay, right. That's what I was saying, man. Like,
Yeah,
wait,
time is not real.
2016 like feels like a point.
Yes.
Like that feels like the real now.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I feel like once you get into like, like your mid 20s
Yeah.
onward, it's kind of just like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
like this is it.
Yeah.
Like I'm existing now.
Are you
Like,
30?
I'm 30 now.
Thank
I'm
God.
Dirty 30.
Thank
This
God.
year. I just turned 30.
Thank God.
I was 29 forever.
Thank God you're 30. Yeah, dude, you really were. You really were.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a young spry chicken. I'm
guess-
actually locked in at 29 though.
Should we? You're locked in.
I'm locked in.
You're done.
I just turned 29 forever now.
Done. Every
How
time your
old-
kid asks,
Yes.
29.
29. Yeah,
29
it's like
forever.
Dad, I'm 29.
That's what my dad told us.
Yeah,
Forever.
yeah. It's like I'm
He's like, I'm
29.
29.
It's funny. My dad actually is. I think
He is
he is
29?
30 years. We're like the same. He's like 30 years exactly older
Really?
than me. So like we move in the same year every single. So like he's turning 60. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 30 years older than me.
So
So we move.
it's easy
in
to
year.
tell how old he is.
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, but
So
honestly
my-
though, I just realized that this
Yeah.
year.
That's fucked up. I've known it for a long time actually.
Yeah.
With my dad.
Yes.
He's exactly 40 years
Yeah.
older than me.
Yeah. So it makes it fucking
Um, and we were both born on years with a zero.
Ooh,
So
even
90,
easier, even
90
simpler.
and 50.
Yeah,
It's
90 and 50.
extremely easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But should I feel like the Goku intro was fine, but also
yeah.
welcome back. Yeah, gamers,
what's
welcome
up?
back to the pod.
Yeah.
This is I'm Base Justice.
Yes, that's you. What's one of your names? Still,
Also
you haven't changed your name yet.
well, really, like, if I'm to be honest, I identify as a Canadian woman who is
Ooh.
pregnant.
Okay.
That's like one of my identities.
That's one of your identities?
That's like just how.
Well, I have to respect.
I was
that.
driving home today, and like that's just like I was like I'm
That's who I am now.
actually a pregnant woman.
I'm a pregnant
who's
woman.
from Canada.
That's very specific.
I know.
Is it because of their health care that you want to be pregnant there?
I mean, it's free.
just want it.
It's free,
I
but
want
it's
healthcare.
It's free, but worse.
It's free, but like you might not get in.
Yeah,
you
and it
might
take
give
a
birth
while.
at home.
You might, yeah, like so. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. And
who
I'm
are
Bam.
you?
I'm Bam, and I have 6 M's
6
in
of
my name.
them.
Yes.
That's cool.
6 whole M's. Do you know where that's from? Actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm not telling.
No. Where's it from? Where's it from?
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Green eggs and ham, peanut butter and jam.
We can throw that on the sample on the podcast. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, bam. Oh shit. Yeah, fucking that
We can
clip
have-
you
we
made
can
me
have
is
clips.
fucking good. No, well, the song you made me.
Yeah.
Remember that
Oh,
little
yeah.
clip you made me? You made me a fucking
Dude,
sub
that was.
sound.
Do you still have that?
Yes.
That's old.
Yeah, it's on my
Damn.
Twitch. Everything's
Yeah.
on there. So like when I go,
Yeah.
it's like saved into my Twitch profile.
Oh, that's sweet.
Like I have that intro you made me and shit
Yeah.
with that fucking cool. You
Oh,
put
the little peep
beep.
one. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, of course I remember that.
Dude, Lil-
and
that
I know
was a fucking
I know the
dope song.
subscriber one.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy that I made those.
Yeah, those are sick.
Um,
I had some cool shit in my stream.
I want you to
Besides
stream
me,
again.
Besides me, the whole rest
Yeah.
of the stream looked
No,
cool.
no, it was cool. It
It was just
cool.
a piece of shit
Yeah,
sitting in the
this
corner.
fucking asshole. So you mentioned that you do not game in the dark, but you also don't like sunlight.
Hmm.
So what is like the peak you? When do you put your best work out there?
When is what for like just in general?
Like maybe like a time of day,
Definitely
or like if you've
post
had
8 p.m.
something. Okay, post 8 p.m.
Post 8 p.m. Like for
Okay.
realistically, like I am like functioning
Yeah.
all day and like just fine. But
Yeah.
like once like that like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. hits, that is when I feel like the most alert.
Okay,
That's when I feel the best.
you're a
That-
protector.
yeah. Oh yeah. I don't maybe.
You're a protector.
yeah. I was fucking. I'm hunting. It's hunting time.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're-
like
yeah.
the-
Like there are night people and there are day people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you protected during the night.
That was my
That
thing.
is-
I
that is
had
like
night
what
shift.
your
Yeah.
DNA.
I think I was always that way, and then it really concreted in with my job.
Okay.
Because I worked at
Oh,
night essentially,
right.
not
Yeah.
by choice, but just like that's when shit happened.
Yeah.
was at night.
Okay.
So most of the time when I would, so and then it would work into itself because then I'd get off of, I'd work duty. So I'd be on for the majority of my career. Yeah, duty. And, I'd be on for like, 48 hours, 72 hours. And then I'd get off work and then I would fucking do I could go to sleep or whatever, but like I did the same. Especially when I was younger, I was up till fucking,
Oh, fuck no.
4. I mean, even now I'm still up till 2 a.m. every night.
And you wake up early.
Yeah.
So you have like a defined
Sleep.
schedule. So you're going to bed at 2,
Yeah. Well, roughly.
typically?
Like
Roughly
1 to
2.
2.
And you're waking up at,
Anywhere from, like early end will be like 6:37, and then like late end will be like 8:30.
okay.
You know,
I'm sleeping in.
yeah,
Fucking
no,
with it.
yeah.
No.
I mean, that's now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not, active duty. I mean, when I was doing that, then I was up every day at 6.
I think
But,
definitely like the doing the same thing every day, getting the same sleep every day, waking up at the same time, going to bed at the same time that is the key. It doesn't matter really how much you're getting. Getting a lot of sleep feels good. And like for a while I was getting 8 hours of sleep, but recently, so I get up at 7.
Mm-hmm.
I've pushed back and started going to bed at 11:30 instead of 11. And, that always is like scary.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna be so shitty tomorrow. Like I'm walking in this morning, walking in the hallway, I'm like, there's no difference. I'm used to this.
Yes. Yeah.
now.
Well,
This is fine.
Yeah. What sucks about it is that they preach to you like how important sleep is and how you got to learn, do those things, but there is no static answer to what you need.
Yeah.
And then the worst part of it is that for the first, 25, 30 years of your life, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your body is able to fucking do whatever. Like
Yeah.
you could not sleep.
Yeah.
You could sleep 18 hours. You could sleep 2 hours. Like you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
You will function the next day. You'll be fine. Like you'll
Yeah.
be fine. It doesn't matter. Like it literally doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. You could fucking sleep an hour and work out 2 times a day and fucking party and drink heavily and do whatever you want. But then all of a sudden it just hits you like when you're like in your late 20s, like, oh shit, I need a schedule.
Yeah.
But there's no way of practicing up to that point
No.
because your body doesn't fucking care.
Yeah.
It's just like a fucking switch goes off and you're like, I care now. And then you got to spend, you got to spend those fucking,
Yeah.
like it takes like years to figure out what works for you. But it sucks that you don't, in your youth get to practice like what the fuck works for you. Cause that took me,
I mean, they beat it into us like in
Yeah,
school.
it's important. Like, oh, you gotta
but
go
of
to bed,
course
you gotta
it
go, but you don't care.
immediately goes away.
yeah, it's stupid because it does. They teach you it, but it's not applicable to children.
Yeah.
Because children don't
No.
fucking care. Like
They have
even-
to be on a schedule.
Yeah, they don't care. And they could sleep whatever they want. Like I said, it does not matter. Like your
Yeah.
body is able to fucking deal with it. It's not until you're a little bit older that you need like a routine for
Yeah.
it. And then, but you're just dropped into the fucking deep end of like figure it out sleep wise.
Yeah.
But it is important to figure out because like for me, like like I sleep like generally speaking like 5 to 6 hours, and like that's premier for me. Like if I sleep more than that, I'm more tired. If I sleep less than that, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Okay.
Like, and there is no in between it. Like there's no like that is what I have to sleep.
Yeah.
If I sleep more, I'm just like a fucking zombie all day.
It's the worst.
Yep. And it's like, and if I sleep less of it, like I said, I feel like I'm just going to collapse while I'm walking. So it's
Fuck.
like, like
Yeah.
that's like
of
my
course. Yeah.
peak.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But
So
I think my peak like work is there's a few different
Mm-hmm.
flavors. I get my best work done early in the morning.
Yeah.
When I'm drinking a coffee, I play my best
that
games
first,
of chivalry.
that first touch of caffeine and
Yeah.
nicotine into
or
your body.
the second cup.
Yeah.
Ooh, the second cup. I'm really getting there.
Yeah.
That's probably my best. But then also, I think like my best moments also are so when I'm there, but then also like if I am fiending for something a little bit, I feel like I'm better.
Oh, really?
Like I almost like want to like be addicted to something and like not have it
Not
because
have
I
it, a little
feel like
fire
I
inside
do.
of you?
Yeah, it's like a little fire that is like driving me. Not that I'm like trying to get that thing. It's just like a slight like irritation and
Yeah.
like energy also. Like
Yeah.
it energizes me.
Yeah. A little wakes you up a little bit, gets you going.
It's like gives me a little crackhead energy.
Yeah, a little
which
bit, a
I
little-
think is good
yeah,
for
healthy,
me.
a healthy little bit of it.
Yeah, and
it's-
then also I've had like some weird ones where I will be coding like late into the night. I guess maybe that's just like an ADHD thing. If I do lock onto something,
Yeah.
and usually it'll be like a 2-day thing. You know,
Yeah,
I'll be
it's
obsessed
gone.
with it for
Yeah,
2
then
days. Be like,
it's-
this is all I'm doing.
This is my
today.
passion.
You know,
for today.
coding into the night, shirtless,
Yeah.
and hot.
Yeah. Sweaty.
And that's the best. But
Yeah.
that's just an ADHD thing.
Yeah, I think,
But-
no, I think what you said, the morning thing too, is like I generally do like all my school shit. I do before fucking
Yeah.
noon. Like
Okay.
I'm done with all my school
Yeah.
shit. Like that's when I do everything in the morning. I think there's some like that for like for me too. Like I usually I do like a 18 to 20 hour fast every day, and I'm usually
Okay.
but I fast.
So
you
you're
know,
fasting now for real. I thought you were.
Yeah,
I
always
wasn't
do.
sure if you. Okay.
I don't like. It's
Yeah.
not like a fucking thing. I just
Yeah.
don't. I, like before, like I just never really ate like that, and then they
Yeah.
like turned it into this whole like can do
Yeah.
your 6 hour. I'm like I just like
Yeah.
you know like it's just how I eat. Like
Yeah.
I don't eat breakfast.
I think it's good for you.
well, that's
Well,
yeah,
depending.
Yeah, it depends on every
yeah.
person. You know, every people. I mean, some people need more. Like
Yeah.
fucking like my wife eats
Yeah.
way more than me.
Okay.
Like-
she doesn't fast.
No.
Okay.
And she fucking but she's like she runs a fuck ton.
Okay.
You know, like but I mean we both are active. I mean she's definitely more active than I am now because
Yeah.
I just fucking like I lift and shit or whatever. Like I'm not
Right.
you know like pushing myself cardio wise or anything like that.
Okay.
But there was times when we were doing like equal probably activity. And she's always like I said, she's always been like she's just got a faster metabolism. Like she
Okay.
just requires more, you know, to
Yeah.
function. You know, but for me, like I stop eating at like 6, you know, and I don't eat until like 12 or 1 the next day.
That's fucking awesome.
So, but I think that morning thing too is I definitely feel that like when I'm at the end of my fast and I'm like the hungriest I could be.
Yeah.
And then that in the caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
And the fucking nicotine.
I think
and shit,
yeah.
like,
When
I
I was
love that
definitely when I
feeling.
was fasting, that's just like a good feeling.
Oh, I like being
period.
hungry,
especially
and I like
like
slamming
if-
my body with
yeah.
teens. Anything that's with TINE in an empty stomach.
some sort of
that's,
teen.
That's yes,
Yeah.
that's for me.
Some
Like,
een.
yeah,
Caffeine,
Dude, that's what I mean.
nicotine.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like first morning, like when I
Yeah.
smoked, like that literally would get me up.
Yeah, a cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would wake up at 5:30, like 5:20, like happy.
You used to vape too. You
I
were,
vaped. Well,
you were
I
a
would-
vapist
I
or a
would- yeah, I'm
vapor?
vapist. Full on.
When-
A full on vapist.
when
also,
you-
you know, old people, young people, the poor.
When you were full on vaping,
That's yeah.
did you have moments like would you wake up in the middle of the night and smash?
No,
the
no,
vape?
I never. I knew people who did
Nice.
that, but it
a
would
lot
keep,
of people.
Yes, would
A
like
lot.
smoke throughout the. I mean, I would vape trying to quit smoking cigarettes,
Okay.
and then I would realize that it was worse
Yeah.
because I just have it all the
Terrible.
time.
Yeah.
And then I would go back to cigarettes and stuff, and
Yeah.
I always preferred cigarettes anyways. Like I just,
Yeah.
it's just something about it.
The
It's-
cigarette
it-
doesn't do anything for me. Now when
Yeah.
I smoke a cigarette, I'm like, well, after it's done, I'm like, well, I know what an elf bar is.
I know, yeah. I
So-
need 75 grams of nicotine.
You ever fucking so I was thinking of how you could smoke a game. You ever hit a vape and it just tastes like 100% technology? Yeah, it's gonna
activated?
yeah, that's it. So I guess this is like already our nobody cares,
Nobody cares.
section.
We're
We
already
just
nobody
didn't
cares.
announce it.
Yeah.
But I do have a question for you. So I feel like I've known you now for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years because I
10?
think I met you at the end of 2014.
Who knows? Because
we
time
met
is frozen.
before.
We're locked
yeah,
in at
we're locked
2015.
in.
So.
Yeah, but I did. We met before you went to boot camp,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally right before. So
Yeah.
It's 10 years.
and you were how old then? 10 years. So 20.
20.
So you weren't 21 yet.
I wasn't even 21.
So I think you sort of like I've gathered like these little things about like your history, and I think I always like because I would always talk about like my Nintendo past, a big Nintendo guy, and I think even we've played Smash and Pokemon together online, but I think I didn't realize that I thought Daisy was like your first intro
Yeah,
into
intro
gaming.
into
And then
gaming.
like I always thought like maybe you were just like a very casual gamer.
Yeah.
But that is not true at all. You were
was a
at
fiend.
GameStops
I was at GameStop's.
at fucking midnight releases. So you were like
I was the guy,
real.
like I would drive
Yeah.
by in the car
Yeah.
with Halo 2 hanging out the window, like, fuck you, like I was that kid.
Yeah.
Like we were the first
Holy
guys in
shit.
line and everyone would cheer, like, fuck yeah, dude. Like we had
Yeah.
the helmet, dude. We had Master Chief helmet. Like we were all out for every
fucking
single fucking
insane,
game.
dude.
Yeah, like
Was
we
it
went,
mainly Halo or like
I mean everything. Every game, any
Diablo?
game. Yeah, well, it was any console.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were. I was not like I played
Right.
PC games but it was a home PC, so it was like
Yeah.
like I said, I played like Red Alert,
Yeah.
fucking Tiberian Sun,
Age of Empires.
Age of
Yeah.
Empires, like shit like that, like RTS. It was never
Yes.
an online thing.
Okay.
My competitive like PvP entry level
Came
that-
from Xbox Live.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Xbox Live.
So
is
you
where I
were-
was born.
you
Well,
were-
PlayStation 2 Battlefront
Yeah.
was the core beginning of like
Okay.
the online playing.
Battlefront was that game.
Yeah, yeah, and then but it was like I would just play that on and off because I didn't have like a headset or anything.
Okay.
Like I didn't have that. Like it was PvP to me, but to me it could have been anything because I was still just
Yeah.
I wasn't interacting with anyone. But yeah,
Right.
Xbox Live, like yeah, no, I was in there. I was
That's
fucking
insane.
and I played WoW the whole time. I played RuneScape the whole
On
time
the home computer. You
on
played
my
WoW?
laptop.
On a
But I
laptop.
was never doing anything real.
Okay,
Like I was
right.
raiding, but like not really. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like
You're
I never
just-
played
yeah.
it seriously.
Okay.
And then RuneScape was the same thing. Like it was just
Yeah.
like AFK.
You were
like
casually
just,
playing it.
yeah, like I was doing things and stuff, but the majority of my gaming was
Yeah.
was Xbox Live.
And you were competing like in those games because you were
I
playing
mean,
online.
Yeah,
and-
Halo was big. Gears of War was huge
Yeah.
for me. I was a
Okay.
huge Gears
Was
of
that?
War player.
I never played those, so
Yeah.
I never had an Xbox.
Yeah,
Were those online?
Yep, PvP.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all PvP.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Okay.
was a cool story. I was huge into the story.
Yeah.
Fucking Gears of War, dude. I remember in Gears of War 2, like fucking Marcus, the like
Yeah.
second, he's like the main. He like gets ran over by trainers. Dude, it was like heart wrenching for
Oh,
me. as a
shit,
kid. I was
really?
like,
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like that
That's
story in
cool.
that game was awesome. Yeah, we were full in on those. And then we all played fighters. I still remember fucking like Mortal Kombat Deception. Do you remember
Okay.
that one?
Yeah.
On Xbox, like.
I think I played that on GameCube. Was that the one that had the little open world story where you start as a kid and turn into the old man?
I think so.
That's the one that I played.
I don't really remember. I just remember I was a gamer score fiend.
Okay.
Do you remember what the gamer score was?
No.
The number. It was the beginning of having a number.
Oh, fuck.
You had a score.
Oh,
of
on
your
Xbox.
achievements. Yes.
Oh, now that's cool. Steam needs that.
Yes, they
I've
should.
given out some more Jester awards today.
Have
by
you?
The way. Yeah, Mike
Some
already had one
unaccepted?
that I gave him.
Yeah, he's got a second one now.
Yeah, and
double jester.
Yeah, I gave one to Jesse. So Jesse,
You're
check
a
out your
clown.
profile.
You're a fucking
You got a
clown.
fucking jester.
But no, yeah, that
So a score.
yeah. So you had your gamer score,
Yeah.
which was like the first number you could, and it was everyone saw it.
Yeah.
So if you clicked on someone's profile, so like when you went to fucking open somebody's profile and send them a voice message, it's like, fuck you, idiot. Like, I hate you. You know, like you would see my gamer score and be like, oh shit, this guy's a fucking
Yeah,
gamer.
he's
so
legit.
like, but that was the beginning of my rentals though.
Okay.
I would rent every single game
Oh.
to beat it
Yeah.
and get 100% achievement because I
Yeah.
wanted the score from the game.
That's fucking-
And
yeah.
I would buy every single game, the used games
Yeah.
from GameStop because you could return them. So I would buy all the old Maddens, like
Yeah.
Madden, like 2K2
Yeah.
to like
So you're farming
2K11,
them.
because I knew that their achievements back
Yeah.
then. So each game had like you could get 500 points from it
Yeah.
total. As games got older, they realized we should put more achievements in it. But the original games, so
Yeah.
like a new game, you would only get 15G from
Okay.
completing an achievement. In
Right.
the old games, you get like 100G.
Okay.
So I would go back and farm those
Farm
games.
all the classic
Yes,
games.
because it was like you had to do 4 things.
Yeah.
And you'd have fucking 500G.
Damn.
So I would farm gamer score
Yeah.
so I could have a high gamer score. So like people on my profile, and oh shit, this guy's like got like fucking 70,000 gamer score.
Yeah.
Like this guy fucks, you
Holy
know,
shit.
like, so like,
That's
yeah.
cool. That's like
But
a
yeah.
cool like first like into like a real
Yeah,
like
seeking numbers.
overarching
Yeah.
bigger
the beginning
number
of
better.
the problem.
Beginning of the problem.
The beginning of the problem.
But, so
scoreboards.
you played Mortal Kombat, and was that just like on the
yeah, that.
couch with buddies?
Yep. Yeah. I still remember beating the fucking Dragon King at the
Yeah.
end. I beat him with fucking Bo Raichu, dude. And his
Okay.
fucking head blows up. And my dad was like, I told you, my dad was super big into like home theaters and stuff.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
had like our attic was a theater. And
Your
it was-
attic?
Yeah. We had a
Holy
fucking like
shit,
a
dude.
finished attic.
Yeah.
Like my dad built our house. So
Okay.
we had like
Yeah.
a fucking cool, like he does,
Yeah.
like he can just build all things.
Okay.
But so we had like a big like full on theater upstairs.
Yeah.
Fucking we had a 10-foot screen.
Yeah.
Fucking projector. And I beat the fucking Dragon King on that with
Yeah.
all my boys there, like
Yeah.
15 of my fucking 12-year-old friends upstairs. I beat
cool.
him with fucking Bo Raichu,
Yeah.
like vomiting on the ground.
Holy
And his
shit.
fucking head blew up, and I remember all of us just fucking screaming. Like I remember
cheering.
my mom running up the stairs, like, "What is happening? What's happening?" Like, "I just beat the fucking Dragon King!" Like like it was just
Holy
like
shit.
the most fucking like. Oh, it was awesome. I mean, those, like I think now, like it's funny. Like my wife, she's always like, "Oh, our son's not gonna play again." I'm like, dude, like. Because my dad was a tech guy and
Yeah.
had all that stuff, like
Yeah.
it was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Because like by extension,
Yeah.
I
That's
had
how
all
it happened.
that stuff. Yeah,
That's
well,
how-
I had it all. Like,
Yeah.
even when I went to college, I remember when I went to college, my dad gave me a fucking projector.
Yeah.
People would
Yeah.
so in my freshman dorm, my one wall was a screen.
That's fucking sick.
like a fucking 10
oh my
foot
God.
screen. So
you
like,
must have been so popular.
yeah, so it was just like instantly like, oh shit, this kid's a fucking like everyone's in there. We're playing fucking NHL, we're
Yeah.
playing FIFA, we're playing
Holy
fucking Call of Duty. Like on my wall is a screen.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but that was all just because I came from like
Yeah.
a person who was into tech. So it passed
Yeah.
down into me. So my wife's always like, I'm like, you don't understand. Like my fucking my office is like is a kingdom for children.
for
You
a
know, like they're
child,
like if I walked in there when I was young, I'd be like, holy shit, it's the coolest place ever. Like
You
you
got
got
toys
fucking, you got
and-
axolotl, you got fucking lizards, you got
Yeah.
bugs in the corner, dude.
Fucking
you got,
worms in a
little
bucket?
fucking plastic dudes.
Yeah,
you
dude.
got a mealworm farm, dude. What is
kingdom.
this? Yeah, like
That's fucking
like yeah,
amazing.
like but yeah, it's funny. I think about that stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, that probably not the most healthy hobby over time, but
No, I mean, well,
yeah,
you
definitely
point-
eats a lot of time. I mean, you're gonna do something. You're gonna have a fucking hobby. You
Yeah.
know, like
point this a little.
Do I
Point,
need
point
more
this.
on me?
No, just point it. Yeah, there.
oh,
you go.
there
Perfect.
we go. There we go.
I guess that's like similar to me and my situation. You
Yeah.
know, like if I need a piece of musical equipment,
I was just
I
gonna
hit
say.
my fucking dad up.
I
you know,
was
like
literally just about to say,
yeah,
as
like
your
it's
music, but
literally
what I
a
would
parallel of that. It's just like okay, like we weren't into like you know we just had musical instruments everywhere, and that's how I got into guitar.
yeah.
I actually started on saxophone.
I played saxophone.
Did you
tenor,
really? You
and
motherfucker!
alto.
I played alto.
I played alto
I played
and tenor.
alto.
I
I
played.
can still
well,
play.
I played a new instrument
Yeah.
like every 2 years because I would play the instrument for a little bit and then I
Yeah.
would break my arm.
Okay.
And I would quit.
Yeah,
And then I would break my arm the
Yeah.
next year after a year, and then I would quit. And then I'd break my arm, and I would quit.
Jesus Christ.
And I was also garbage. I have no
Yeah.
musical talent, but I was going to say that with
You have
music
a
with you.
piano though.
I do have a piano.
You have a keyboard. You should
And
pick
I
it
have a
up
fucking
again.
guitar. Dude,
Pick it
Rainer,
up.
he fucking loves
The
the guitar.
guitar?
He plays it like all day.
Oh,
he
shit,
just
that's
sits there
so
like
cool.
strumming on it. But back to what you were saying with your stuff. I mean, I think that's like from like, I think that's much cooler.
The availability.
Well, I think it's also a much like that to me is
Yeah.
a better thing to pick up.
Yeah.
Because I think that's all like I was going to say, like, I bet you, I mean, yeah, you probably have like naturally talented because your dad is very talented. So, like, yeah, you're a musical person, you come from music, but it's also fucking environment. Like,
Yeah.
you might have had musical talent, but like if you weren't fucking surrounded by instruments, you
Yeah.
might not have ever
I was
picked
just
one
a
up.
kid touching them all day.
Yeah, so they're
And
just
that's,
around you.
That's how it, you know, it
and-
evolved.
Yeah, now
So-
you fucking have that talent and stuff, which I
Yeah.
think is really cool. I think music, like, you know, it's a fun thing, and I think it just like it even like I said when I've tried to learn it and stuff, it's such a different like part of your brain
Yeah.
to do. You know, like you feels like you're like working out. You
Yeah.
know, like that's
Oh, definitely.
literally when I would try and learn piano and stuff, I was
Yeah.
like tired.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
because I'm good at processing information. Like I spend time learning things all the time, but to go for whatever reason, like music is just like this whole other side of your brain where you're like, oh shit, like I'm not good at this. I can't like this is hard to retain. Like I'm really like pressing myself.
I think it's especially like difficult as an adult getting into it.
Yeah,
I
anything.
think it's like a similar like learning process as maybe like learning a language.
Yeah.
But I think you should play more.
Yeah, it
like
would be cool.
I could also like teach you a few things or
Yeah, it would be
just
fun. I think
introduce
it's good
to
for
my
you. I think
fucking
like
dad.
it's yeah, like round out your
yeah.
because I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was cool to like, you know, like I said, I'm, you know, like I feel like you get so comfortable at like learning, you know, and then to
Yeah.
learn something new, like I feel like that's just a whole separate side of your brain where
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, like this is tough to do. Like
Yeah.
even like just the physical aspect of it too. Like I remember
Yeah.
trying to learn the piano. Dude,
Oh,
my
hard.
hands.
Yes, dude.
hurt
Yes.
so bad.
Oh, dude, when I first started playing keyboard, so I moved in with my dad when I was like in 5th grade. So I left my sisters behind. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm going
outta
to
here.
I'm living with my
My
dad
dad's a
in
fucking
Florida.
cool musician.
In Florida.
We'll play
And,
guitar.
and when I first moved down there, he's like, you are going to play an instrument. And he made me practice every day, which I think is like badass that he like
Yeah.
sat me down and
Yeah.
like had me do
Listen
at
here,
least
idiot.
some of it.
Sit down and learn a skill.
Yeah. And
You'll appreciate me in 10 years.
yeah, it wasn't like, you know, he put me on piano and he
Yeah.
gave me a book and he would put me on the most weighted keys
Oh,
that he had. He
like
put
the-
me on his it was called a Fender Rhodes,
Yeah.
which is this huge electric piano, but it had the heaviest,
heaviest
keys,
keys.
and it was so hard for my tiny little 6th
Yeah,
grade
yeah.
fingers to press.
He's
But-
essentially, you're like the beginning. It's like a sweatshop. It's
Yeah,
like a child.
yeah.
He's going to work on your dexterity. You want to make you very
Yeah.
good with your hands, you know, like let's build the things we can. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And it was cool though. Like, I mean, that's cool that he like put me on that one specifically. I did play it for a bit, and then before I got a saxophone,
Yeah.
I always loved saxophone.
It's a cool fucking instrument.
But now, like as an adult, I'm like, damn. I wish I could play keys better. I wish
Yeah.
I just went hard into
Yeah,
keys.
just stayed in the
I
fucking
hate
keyboard.
that I'm a guitar player.
Yeah.
Mainly, like that's.
I don't know. I think it's
that's
all
my-
cool. To me, I think you're just like, because you, like I said, I think externally, I think it's the same thing we were talking about, like the sound quality of the podcast and
Yeah.
stuff. Like for me, I'm like, dude, we have fucking nice ass mics and shit because of your dad. Like this is
got mic
cool as shit.
stands?
Yeah, like this is cool. Like it sounds nice to me, but I think like the more you know, the more you see through all those. Well, that's the case with everything. You know,
Yeah.
like the professional's always going to pick things apart.
Yeah.
Um,
Dad.
yeah,
Hi, Dad. Listen to the
hello.
audio. Yeah.
Hello. Don't
Hello,
judge my
Mike.
voice. But no, I think it's really cool. Like I said, and that was so surprising, especially like coming from playing on a computer so much. Like I'm playing fucking arenas on WoW, and I have 35 keybinds on my fucking character. Like I'm not
Yeah.
exaggerating. I think I
Yeah.
have like 30 fucking keybinds. Like
Yeah.
I'm pressing, like 12 different keys, and then an
Yes.
alt and a control version and a fucking
But
mouse.
you're doing it
4.
on a rhythm.
But why
it on
does
the
it
rhythm.
hurt my hand so
Yeah.
bad to do it on a fucking keyboard?
Yeah.
Like I'm doing this. Same general.
What
thing, I
was
guess.
it? Was it weighted?
It's like it is, but it's
Okay.
it's still a keyboard.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
a
there's some that like a synthesizer, a traditional synthesizer.
I remember
no
I
weight.
chose. I
No weight.
asked the guy because I remember
Yeah.
I just Googled.
Well, weighted
shit.
is badass.
That's what he gave me.
And I probably also influenced you some. I probably
Yeah, you
said
might have said
weighted is
because I
bad.
might have told
But
asked
it's
you like what's
it's a
cheap.
piano versus synthesizer.
That's what I
is
want.
just
I didn't
free.
want like fucking because I
Free,
wanted it.
milky, and
Yes.
it's cool. And that's also what an organ is. That's what my dad plays.
There
It's
was an
totally,
organ in my. I remember we had an
totally
organ in my
free.
house. My grandmother, I think, played
Really?
the organ or something like that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so we had an organ
Yeah.
growing up, like in our house, but
I
it
wonder
just
if it
sat
was
there and
like-
collected dust.
I wonder if it's the kind that my dad plays.
I don't know.
My
It was
dad
there
plays it,
forever. It was a
yeah.
huge fucking wooden thing.
That sounds like what my dad plays.
Yeah, it was gigantic,
Yeah.
and it just was in the corner.
Yeah.
And nobody touched it.
You guys still have it?
I don't know. My
Okay.
parents might.
You
I
could
don't
ask.
know. Yeah, like where's
Yeah.
that organ? I'm gonna
Well, yeah, because
learn.
I think my dad's like finally gotten rid of some, but yeah, he's like collected like 10 of them.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
it was cool looking. It was a fucking. They would think
yeah.
it was more like a conversation piece.
Yeah.
like nobody touched it. We had, like I said, we had all sorts of. I remember I did try. I would always
Yeah.
try, but I couldn't. Like, when you were able to sit down, like it was just so. I don't know. Like maybe it's because I was playing fucking Call of Duty.
No,
I didn't want to
yeah.
be practicing fucking saxophone. I want to play
Yeah.
fucking Halo with my
Yeah.
boys. Like,
Yeah. I think it's like the instruments that can be a piece of furniture I really like, because I think that's like what got me into the stuff in the first place. It's like you walk past it, you're a child, you're going to hit some strings.
Yep.
Well, if it's out, it's a lot easier
Yeah,
to
you
pick
just
up
fucking-
and play. It's like,
yeah.
okay, let's make some noise now.
Yeah.
That's why I keep my guitars out. And
Yeah, because you can just walk by and pick them up, practice
yeah.
them and stuff. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like I said, my son, I have my fucking keyboard set up, and I have I have my guitar sitting on the ground. Like both of them, I've tried to learn multiple times and just given up.
Yeah.
But they're just out, and like he just walks by
Yeah.
and like fucking strums.
That's cool.
and,
I'm sure he's
plays
gonna like
around with
pick
them
it
and
up.
stuff. Yeah, he
And
seems
also, if you
interested
guys
in them.
like, stay around,
bring him over.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah
Train
can
him.
teach him. Yeah, exactly.
He's ready.
Yeah, he's
he's
ready.
about to be 2. So
Yeah,
like,
he's
it's
2.
time to fucking learn.
Well, I mean, he is
skill.
basically an adult.
yeah.
No.
Well, he's a COVID baby. COVID babies are mutants.
Oh,
All of them
shit.
came out, and
They're
they're just
bigger.
they're just adults.
And better.
Yeah, they're just fucking giants.
Bigger,
Like
better,
in-
smarter.
Yeah. People just keep getting bigger.
So, I guess, damn, we haven't talked about gaming too much.
No.
So we
haven't.
wanted
It's
to
the
talk
nobody
about.
cares. We're still
yeah,
in our
no,
nobody
yeah, we're
cares.
still in our nobody cares, but we
Yeah.
wanted to. Today's topic, we kind of wanted to talk about gaming communities.
Yes.
I do have some stuff for you, but
yeah.
do you
no,
want to kick us off?
Yeah, I think. I was just when we were brainstorming ideas and stuff, and I thought it was interesting to. It's just always crazy to see the difference in communities, like
Yeah.
how, like going in from fucking like Dota
Yeah.
to like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Or fucking
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
speed running Mario.
Yeah.
Or fucking Call of Duty. Like it's crazy. Like what and sometimes it's not even because at first you would think like externally like okay maybe it's the games that are more like PvP oriented or like the more toxic communities because you are fighting another person.
Right.
But it's not always the case. Like
No.
there are some PvP games that have like an ultra cool fucking like just like super chill fucking like I think fighters oftentimes have some really cool like they'll talk shit in
Yeah.
the game
Yeah.
but like it's just a part of the
Oh,
fight.
dude, I know you like. Well, maybe like the Mortal Kombat community is like totally different, but
Yeah.
like I know like when you play, like you hate the other person.
yes.
right.
I'm
But like
full of rage.
when I'm playing, like when I'm at my best, like I'm chilling with the other player. Like
Yeah.
we're just hanging out, and like like a lot of time, even especially in Guilty Gear, like my profile first of all said so when you would start up the game with me, it would say. don't skip intro to be cool. So if we both didn't skip the intro,
you knew you were having a
it's
good
like,
match.
yeah, we're gonna chill.
They're gonna
You
chill,
know, we're
man.
gonna have it like we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
But like I've had so many fights where it's like, yeah, like we do goofy things. And
Yeah.
like we'll fight too.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, it's in ranked.
Yeah.
And we'll fight, but like, you know, I'll do some goofy stuff. I'll throw a taunt out after getting a move, and it's like, yeah, like it's just kind
Yeah,
of
I think fighters are one of the they definitely do
Yeah.
that. Like you'll talk like, and even like I've been in fighting like where you're talking shit and stuff and like you're messing, but like at the end of the day, like when the match ends, you'll be like,
Yeah.
yo, GG dude, like cool
Yeah.
game, you know, like
Yeah.
there is no like animosity
No.
in a fighter. Like I mean obviously
Yeah.
no absolutes,
Yeah.
but which so it's I don't think it's linked to the PvP. I honestly have
Yeah.
no fucking clue what links together like that toxicity.
I
think
think-
team-based games
yeah, I was
link
gonna say
that if I were to say anything, it would be if there is a team-based aspect, that is where the most toxicity comes from because of that outlet to blame someone else.
Yeah.
You know, like when it's just you, like if you fuck up, you're like, I
Yeah.
fucked. Who
It's
am I
like,
gonna be
damn,
mad
I
at?
suck.
Yeah, I can't
All right,
fucking talk
next.
shit to
Yeah.
myself, you know,
Yeah.
like, but if you're playing fucking Overwatch or Dota,
Yeah.
you're like, fucking Rubik, get over here and place a fucking war, dude. You've been in the fucking jungle for 2 hours. Like,
Yeah,
what the
dude.
fuck? You know, like, it's
Well-
just, it's easy to blame someone else.
What do you let me so I have a lot of thoughts on that, but what would you say is maybe like one of the most toxic communities
One of the most toxic.
that you've experienced?
I mean, there's easy ones. I feel like the low hanging fruit is just to say like Call of Duty,
Call of Duty.
just
Yeah.
because of like people like just it's like jumping
It's
into
every
2008.
normie. Yeah,
it's like
it's
jumping in 2008.
Yeah.
Like, just like racial slurs,
Yeah.
like crazy shit. Like
It
who the
still
fuck
is
still
like
says
that.
those
It
things?
still is like that.
Yeah, it's still
Holy
that way.
fuck.
Like people are just fucking like they didn't leave
Yeah.
to that. Like they're still
saying like the
yeah, just
N-word
crazy.
and
Yeah,
F word.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like just
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
crazy. And it's just
Yeah.
like what happened? Like
Yeah.
and it's not even like to be edgy or anything.
Yeah.
Like they're just saying it because they like legitimately are just like still
Yeah.
in that world
Yeah.
of like
They bought
fucking-
an Xbox and a headset,
yeah,
and now
and they're still
fucking-
wearing that fucking little like white
Yeah.
fucking half ear that you get with your Xbox
Oh,
360
God,
computer.
yeah.
Like that's what it
shit.
feels like. I'm like,
Yeah.
did you guys not leave that era
Holy sh-
of like?
See, I
talking
always
shit?
thought that was a meme. I didn't know that like that still existed.
No, yeah,
in
they're
that.
still in there fucking yelling
Yeah.
and shit, like just yelling vulgarities and stuff. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
like I'm all for like talking shit and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's just like, try
I love
harder.
it. Well, we played Chivalry together.
Yeah.
And I know in a lot of our team objective maps, I would just be in the chat
Oh,
for the entire time.
I
Me
do wanna-
personally, I would
well, I wanna
always just
talk-
be in the chat.
I think fucking Chivalry is one of those. I think that's one of like, I don't even know where you would put that community. It's in like an X factor because remember
Yeah.
the side chat in that community?
Yes.
It was always wild.
I loved it.
It had nothing to do with
I
fucking shit.
loved
I know
it.
it's one
Yeah.
of, but it was one of those
Yeah.
awesome games. Like
Yes.
you'd hop in and they'd be talking about like fucking politics and shit. Like,
Yeah.
like, what is
Yes.
happening in the
Yes.
fucking sidebar chat? Like the all chat in Chivalry was a wild.
I don't think
place.
anyone ever was like, "Oh, you fucking
No.
got me, you
No, other than to me and
motherfucker."
Mike with our
yes.
short bows, we were not liked.
It's like, no, I am Count Justice.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. No, yeah, that fucking Chivalry is one of those games that just had a fucking wild sidebar. Like
Yeah.
all the, it was like fucking, I mean, I know you didn't play WoW, but Crossroads
okay.
in WoW, Crossroads open chat.
Well, I remember the Barons.
Yeah, it was Barons.
I remember the
That's the same
Barons,
thing.
yeah.
Crossroads is in
It was like
Baron.
B.
Yeah. Yep. Baron
B
chat.
on
It was like the
4chan,
same thing.
yeah.
Like you go in there and just this fucking like people just talking about wild shit. Like it
Yeah.
had nothing to do about World of Warcraft. Like just like crazy ass
Yeah.
shit going on. Kind of like RuneScape is very
Okay.
similar to that. Like
Yeah.
RuneScape, like you just go in and it's like nobody gives
a
a shit
chat
about
room.
RuneScape.
Yeah, it's a
You
chat
know,
room.
Yes, they're not talking about.
Oh, that's like
RuneScape.
cool.
It is.
That's
and I
fucking
think
awesome.
those have those communities like they have like you said, like it's like a chat room.
Yeah.
Like they're literally just like hang out, fucking talk about whatever, like fucking hop in different chat rooms like
Yeah.
that, like chat, fucking what was it called? Fucking like
Chat roulette,
was it before chat roulette?
stick cam.
Was it Stickcam? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
know.
But something like those sites.
Yeah.
But those sites where you just like jump into random fucking chat
Yeah.
groups
Yeah.
and just talk about whatever. Like fucking, and they weren't
Oh,
like
AIM.
sinister. It
AOL.
wasn't fucking
AIM.
dudes jerking
Yeah.
off like an
Right.
owl.
Yes,
Like it was
right.
literally just
Yeah.
like people
You
just
weren't in
having
danger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was just like random ass conversations. Some were funny as shit. Like somebody jump in and there was a guy playing the fucking piano or something. Like
Yeah.
just cool, like just random stuff. But those games, I think, they're like the next step of that. Like that's where
Yeah.
that went to, because those died because now it's just a bunch of jerking off,
Yeah.
and now those went into those worlds of game, like where it's just like
Or like split into people jerking off, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, they
also
took
like
two
Discord.
paths. Yeah,
the
that too.
Discord, which is like also like I stick to like pretty private Discords.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's always tame, but like when I think of a Discord mod, like
Some of those-
I want to throw up.
yeah,
Um,
just
but
filthy dirty.
I think Chivalry. So we played Chivalry 1.
yeah.
We played a little Chivalry 2, but like our real like start together was Chivalry 1. And I think one thing about like, you know, that whole chat room aspect of it, you know, hanging out. That's all I was doing when we were
Yeah.
gaming. Like I would go get
I mean, you
some
were
kills
you
and
were
then like
Count Helix.
yeah,
you
that's,
you were
and
like
that is when
RPing,
I
too. It was
became
like the
Justice
beginning-
for the first time.
It was too, yeah.
I was I think I was Count Helix of Lazarus.
Were you? I don't. I
Yes.
remember you were Count.
I had a
Helix, that's all
long
I
ass
remember.
name.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
adopted the chivalry way. But one thing that was like cool about it was, you know, we would be playing on NA East servers and you'd see the same people all
Yep.
the time, like on these public servers, and that was really cool.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like
that's what I always love that in
you'd have
games.
characters.
Yeah,
like,
I love when games are small enough that like they're big enough that you can play and have a good time and
Yeah.
compete, but they're small enough that you know the community.
yeah.
Like there's nothing better than being known
Yeah.
in a game.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when you
chivalry.
join it- yeah,
it felt
like-
good in chivalry.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, fucking
Yeah.
look who's here. You know, like
Yeah.
oh great, fucking you know, like short bow. Oh great, fucking
Yeah.
you know jabs. Like oh,
I
go,
think
you know, like,
I think even in chivalry too, like I think when we were grinding it, we started to make like somewhat of a name for ourselves
and-
in the duels.
Yep.
Because I remember like we could go in there and we could start random death matching people. Like we would just do that, like
Yeah, just for fun.
because we were like, you know, we got to a point where like, you know, we were high level and like people started to know us. I could go find a noob and just cut him in half without asking
Any
him to duel,
repercussions?
and like you know they would.
they wouldn't kick
Request
you.
to
Yeah.
request to kick me, and everybody would be like, "No, like I know Justice,
Yeah.
like he wouldn't do that."
That was my all-time favorite thing to do is like to
Yeah.
find like a rank 5 guy
Yes.
and just bully the
Just-
fuck out of him, like
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
hunt solely him down. The entire,
Yes, I would always comment in the chat, guys, please keep RDMing to
Yeah.
only one person.
Yeah, totally. No, I would turn it around. on that.
Yeah.
Like I would, you're like, yo, dude, this guy's already DMing me. Like I would kill them right there. And then get them kicked because like I was a
Yeah,
name,
that was-
but
yeah.
I was really the bully, like the undercover. Like this guy's just trying to play the game, and I'm just fine. And also, chivalry was ridiculous. I used
Yeah.
that fucking punch mechanic, so like
yeah.
I would punch people to death. Yeah, just punch you over and over
Yeah,
again.
I
with the-
remember.
I used the rose as
Yeah.
my offhand.
Yeah,
and I'd beat you
the
to death with a
Man-at-Arms.
flower. Yeah,
Was it Man at Arms?
yep. I played man at arms.
Oh,
I would just
God.
punch you to death with a fucking flower.
I do want to play Chivalry 2 again.
It was fun. I like Chivalry too. Like it definitely didn't have that vibe that Chivalry 1
No.
had, the community vibe. I think what made Chivalry fun too was that it had that competitive side, like where they had
Yeah.
like the teams and stuff too. So like
Yeah.
I think what that does though is it takes the guys who are like they're not it separates that, you know, like mad or like try hard feeling or whatever
Yeah.
into those games.
Yeah.
So like you can be on fucking Team Bellator or, you know, one of those old school teams,
Yeah.
and be a really fucking like top tier player.
Yeah.
But you're just pubbing right now. Like,
Yeah.
you're just in a public match. You're having fun. Like you're fucking around. Like there's not a lot of games that happened, and that game did a really good time because like Dota, you know, like
Yeah.
those guys who are all fucking esports pros, like winning fucking $6 million at fucking TI and shit.
Yep.
They're also always playing Dota.
Yes.
Even when they're not in that tournament, they're
Yeah.
always pubbing. But pubbing to them is not the same. Like they're getting, like you see those guys like in fucking pub matches, like flaming each other, like
Yeah.
freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because like they don't separate it. Like they're always playing to that level. But
Yeah.
like Chivalry did a good job of like, you know, like you could just like casually play in those fucking
Yeah.
games, and like you weren't, I mean, you were still trying to win and like trying fucking people up. Like you weren't hanging out and taking it easy.
No, yeah.
But you weren't getting mad.
Yeah.
Well, once you were good at the game.
Yeah.
Once you,
I would get mad in
after
duels.
you gave your 1,000
Some duels.
hours, after you donated your 1,000 hours.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
get good.
Well, if there was ever, I think some of the times, like, I would always hang out in dual servers
Duels
in
were
Mordhau and Chivalry.
Yeah.
So if there was someone that was like leagues better than me in a dual server, like if they caught on that like maybe I was toxic and they started like bullying me
Oh,
and like RDMing me, but it's like they're better than
Yeah,
me,
and I can't do
so I
anything about it.
can't,
That
I
was-
can't do anything about it.
That was the funniest part about Chivalry, because it was, you could
Yeah.
bully someone
Yeah.
and they can't do anything back because
Yes.
you're better than them.
Yes, yeah, like
'Cause,
you
like,
ultimately
in a
can
shooter
fucking,
and stuff.
yeah.
Like if you were to fucking like shoot, it's like they could always headshot
they
you.
can always get you.
They could always get you.
Yeah,
In
but it's
Chivalry,
like-
if you're that much better than them, it's like, what are you gonna do,
Yeah.
bitch?
Yeah.
You know?
Mordhau, like it's like no,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, like, you gotta
I'll
stab
fucking-
me, and I'm not
yeah.
gonna let that. I'm gonna fucking chamber feint you into a 6,000
Yes,
fucking. You're
holy
gonna be over there fucking fainting over and over, like parrying nothing. It's like
So-
I'll parry you into fucking no stamina. You'll be crouched in the corner, and I'll fucking punch you. To
And then
death,
when
you
you
know?
die, I'll do it again.
yeah, it's
until
like,
you leave.
Like you either give up or fucking get kicked out because there's nothing else. You're not
Yeah.
beating me. You know,
It- it's fun.
yeah,
It's
Chivalry. is-
well, it's extremely skill based.
yes,
I was
that
thinking I found my infinite game.
Yeah.
What it would be. So it would be. I really liked Mordhau Combat a lot.
Mordhau was really good.
I think if they made and not there is a game called Blackwake that like failed, but if the people from Mordhau or the people from Chivalry made like a Guns of Icarus or made like a pirate game where you were
would
on
be
a ship
fucking dope.
and like maybe like they could even like streamline it where it's like, you know, there are roles where you don't have to be good at like parrying and all this
Yeah, you
stuff.
don't have
like
to be
maybe
a melee fighter.
yeah, like something like that. That would be the ultimate game. I would take my clothes off right now, run down the street butt ass naked, and pull a Homelander on one of these buildings.
That would be fucking dope.
That would be amazing. That'd be the perfect game for me.
I think every single game that has melee combat
Yeah.
would benefit from having Mordhau chivalry combat.
Yes,
There's not a
every
single
game.
game that wouldn't be better
No.
with that. Like it's just that is the premier version of melee combat.
Yeah.
And I think because those games were like kind of niche, it didn't become like the standard.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me that it's not. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be like going into a shooter and not being able to ADS.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you'd be like, what do you mean you can't fucking ADS? It's like, oh, we didn't do that in this game. It's
Yeah.
like you pull out a sword.
First time playing Counter Strike.
Yeah.
So fucking,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, even
It's
they have
weird.
guns
Yeah.
you can ADS with
Yeah,
and
right.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a function in the game. It's just like that should just be the norm.
That should be.
That combat should be how
I don't see how it like maybe it's just like too
Intensive.
advanced, but it's like it's so fucking fun.
it is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean-
So if you haven't played Chivalry before or Mordhau, I at
should.
least remember.
You
Yeah,
get
you
out.
should. I remember when it was first advertised, like the first Chivalry before I had a PC or anything. It was being advertised as Call of Duty with swords, and the whole premise of it is when you swing your sword, like you can actually live manipulate your blade with a sword. So it's not like Skyrim where you click and you have
you
one
just do
static
one
thing.
side.
It's like if I click and move my mouse in a spiral, like it's
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's infinite. The things you
Yeah.
can do with and the like you said, the skill cap in that game is fucking enormous. You know,
Enormous,
like,
yeah,
you can do
infinite.
such crazy shit in that game, like morphing your shit into different attacks and fucking feinting and parrying and fucking
Rainbow.
You know, fucking what was it? When you chambering fucking
Chambering.
people's attacks.
Well, I
and
got
shit.
good at those.
Yeah, like that. Like, those are
Yeah.
such a fun, like
Yeah.
such cool mechanics. And then like, I mean, now they've gotten a little more. You know, like they're more in depth, but then they're more realistic now. I mean, Chivalry 1 was a little wild. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like we were all
Yeah.
fucking like rainbowing and
Yes.
shit, like fucking
It's like
spear away,
totally just like
everyone's
looking
spinning.
like ballerinas.
Yeah, people like look like it's
That's why a lot of people hated it, but like we loved it.
Yeah,
Like it was.
I mean, I could understand like it was always like remember that fucking they'd always do the free weekend and it was always
Yeah.
Sauron.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the GIF? It was always Sauron when he's swinging the fucking sword.
Oh, yeah, like it just
cutting
kill
like
his-
17
the
people in
yeah.
like yeah, that's always what it felt like because
Yeah.
it's definitely. I think that's why that game didn't catch on as much as it did. I mean, it
Yeah.
definitely had a good player base,
Yeah.
but that game was so fucking challenging.
Yeah.
There was zero guidance and is all it was. There
Yeah.
was no single player.
No.
You played online and you fought other people and that was your only option.
You fought against another human
Yep.
who
Yeah.
would
you were
dominate
just, and you just dropped. There was no AI.
Yeah.
There was none of
wasn't,
that.
that's
You
right.
never got to feel good about anything because like a lot of those games, what they'll do is it's like, oh, you're dog shit at the game. Like there's 15 players, but there's 30 AI also in the game, so
Right.
like you can hit the AI and feel good about yourself. This game's like no. Everyone you're fighting has 10,000 hours. They're a fucking legend.
level 50.
They have golden helmets, and
Yes.
and they're not gonna take it easy on you. Like they're gonna destroy you, and they're gonna fucking
God.
teabag your corpse and type in
Oh, that
side
was-
chat
that was the
about
best.
politics. You know, like about something unrelated. So they're not even focused on killing you, but they're doing it incredibly easy. You know, like so like it was just like
That's a good point of like why it hasn't like caught onto the
it's
mainstream.
too
but I feel like
it's too high of a
I feel like
cap.
it still
I like
can
that.
though. I feel like it still could.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, I think Mordhau had the combat down the way it should be in
Yeah.
present day. They just didn't execute on the team objective
Yeah,
part of the game,
it was
which
terrible.
was the core
I hated
function.
fighting with people in that game.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was
People
not,
say that it was like incredible, but like I don't think
It
team
didn't-
objective ever felt good. Like I only felt good in duels.
Yeah, it was a dueling game.
Yeah.
You know, it was designed for that 1v1 dueling and
Yeah.
stuff. It didn't have the same. I mean, you know, they took away archers pretty much, which like made the team objectives feel like very much so just like knight bash, like let's all play knights.
Yeah.
You know, like there was no reason not to. Like you're like, why would I use a fucking shield? You know, like
Yeah.
fucking like it changed the dynamic of the game. Like there was no real. You know, kind of felt like the strategy went away a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like because the other one it was like, oh, like we need fucking man at arms, like in Chivalry, or like throw some fucking fire pots.
Yep.
Get some fucking crossbowmen. Like, oh, dude, you're playing fucking Vanguard. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have a shield. You're just a
Yeah.
fucking dude with a sword. Like, I'm gonna light you the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like fucking 2 headshots with my short bow and you're
Yeah.
dead. You know,
Yeah.
like it was a game changer. Like, and there's no, you know, it's not like fucking. There's no, you know, Tarkov momentum and shit. Like you move this speed, you're not
Yeah.
getting away from me. Like I can fucking
Yeah.
project where you're
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Like I'm
That's right.
gonna fuck you up. But then they took all that away. So I don't know. Yeah, definitely they dropped the ball on the team objective, which is why I think
Yeah.
what ultimately killed the game, because most of the people who played Chivalry were team objective players.
I think the main like developer, like he's like the head guy. I think his name is Crush. I'm pretty sure like everyone on the Reddit hates him.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
I'm
about
pretty
right.
sure he's just like a cokehead.
Yeah.
And now he's probably driving a Maserati.
Yeah, just done
And
into the
but if they
sunset.
Crush, if you're listening to us now, please
Yeah.
make Mordhau a pirate Mordhau,
That would be
and
dope.
maybe like come up with like a streamlined option for because slashers, this genre, it really is just fighter.
Yeah.
It's just first person fighting game. So
Yeah.
like I don't know, Street Fighter and Tekken both came out with their sort of easier controls to kind of get like newer
that's a
people
good
into the
idea.
game. So like maybe something like that in those. Like I'm not opposed to it. I think this is the best genre in the world.
And they put it on. It's on Xbox. It's on
Mordhau.
consoles.
Really?
No, Chivalry was.
Chivalry. That's right. Yeah.
So there is some port to make it easier. Like you
Yeah.
can use a controller to do it.
There's a way.
So they definitely have some version of making it simpler to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd imagine it'd be an incredible, disadvantage to be on a controller in that game.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a game to be bad on a controller.
Please
But-
include crossplay.
Yeah. Put 'em in my game.
We need more players.
I'll take your
for the
new players.
console.
Well, that was it. You remember doing that on the
Yeah.
free weekends?
No, what?
Making
No.
another account
Yeah. Yeah.
so you can play in the
to
low
play in
rank
the
server.
newbie servers. That's fucked up. Yeah, of course.
Get like 500 kills. They'd be like,
Oh
"What
shit,
is
he's level
happening?"
30 already?
Yeah, it was literally like you get to play 2 games
Yeah.
because you just get literally like 150
Yeah.
kills a game, and just make sure there's no new players joining because you're just in there stomping them into the ground. But yeah, no, Chivalry. I think Chivalry had a cool fucking thing. But yeah, that would be dope.
I thought it
think-
had a good, cool community.
Yes, very cool community. I mean, I don't know, other games that I don't know, like good community wise. Like I said, I think fighters have good communities. Fucking Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
I know you never played that. That had like the coolest fucking community.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
like
chill ass people.
yes, like everyone wanted to fucking help. Dude, they had
Yeah.
a fucking they were called the fuel rats.
Okay.
And it was not in game. This
Yeah.
was a out of game group created by people who their entire purpose was to bring fuel to people who ran out of fuel in game.
Holy shit.
So like these guys,
Okay.
you would like contact them like,
Yeah.
on fucking Reddit with your coordinates, and they'd come and find you
yeah.
and like deliver you fuel and stuff, so you could fucking continue on in the game and stuff like that sort of stuff. Like
That's
people
fucking
people
cool.
are always
Yeah.
like everyone does the fucking 07, like the saluting
Yeah.
guy. Like
Okay.
everyone's like
Yeah.
07 commander, 07 commander. Everyone everything like it's just a very cool community of people who like wanted
Yeah.
to help out. Fucking, I remember streaming that and shit. Like I'd always have people coming in
yeah.
who were like just like super chill, like fucking billion hours in the game, like happy to help you with anything you wanted, like happy that there's new players.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, like that to have none of the gatekeepers in your
Yeah.
community, because it's like you're just killing
no.
your own
Yeah.
game. Like if you have gatekeepers, like why? Like fucking,
Yeah.
you're just preventing. If you love the game, don't fucking lock other people
Yeah.
out because it's gonna die with you inside.
That's like the worst thing you could do.
Yes, yeah, like
Even though like we were doing that with Chivalry,
Yeah,
but
we
we
did
weren't
it-
like
we-
we were
it was
like
a-
leave loser.
Yeah, we
like
let
we
'em
just
in.
wanted to use you.
we let them in and we locked the door.
Yeah, we locked the door.
Hey, welcome in.
Welcome.
Why are you putting a deadbolt in? It's like, don't worry about it.
Why are you turning the lights off?
Welcome to my world. But I think that, like I said,
Yeah.
Elite Dangerous was that was cool.
I think definitely like some games, like you were saying, and I've thought about this a lot. Like some games, just the gameplay and mechanics alone can lend to the toxicity
Yeah.
of the game. So thinking about like Dota, like first of all, Dota is essentially like Pokemon. There are 100
Yeah.
heroes that you can pick. There are 100 heroes that all play insanely different,
Yes.
and you are expected to know at least a little bit about every
everything,
single one of them. And not only that, there are 5 of you,
Yes.
and there are 5 of them,
Yeah.
and
And how they interact with each other.
yeah, and like if you fuck up, like it's an hour-long game.
Yes.
It's
I-
an hour to an hour and a half, and like if you fuck up, like you are gonna get fucking spam reported,
Yep.
and you are gonna get fucking banned from the game.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's
I think what you just said brings up a good point. If you are locked, I think time
yeah,
lends to toxicity.
Yeah.
If you're in a game that requires a large amount, even if you're going to fucking sit, like I've said that a million times, like I'll sit down and I'll play 4 hours of video games.
Yeah.
I will not play 4 matches of Dota.
No.
You know, like, because
You
I don't
have.
want to give up. I have,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't want to give up
Yeah.
those chunks like that.
Yeah.
Like I'll sit there and happily play for 4 hours doing different shit. But when you're locked into something, like that just lends to that toxicity because you're like, I'm stuck in this
Yes.
fucking hour-long game with you, dude. Like you need to figure the fuck out. Like this is an hour of my time.
Yeah.
Like in this same exact game, like I'm stuck here. I'm gonna lose fucking rank. This is like, you know, and then now my next game essentially means nothing, even if I
Yeah.
win, because I'm just trying to get back to where I was. So I've lost 2 hours of my life.
And now it
it's
might be
all
a
your
low
fault.
priority because you
of all the
reported
things
me.
and all the things
now
I called
yeah,
you.
all I said is all I said was GG.
That's all I said was Jaja.
Ja.
Yeah. No,
But,
yeah, I think the time
yeah.
definitely links to that.
I think like I like games that have a good length to them.
Yeah.
But it can't be that long. So for example, Finals was
was
like
perfect.
huge, but it feels like it's like falling off. Well, I don't know if I would consider it perfect. I feel like it's way too short.
Oh, really? I like
I feel
the
like
shortness of
I
it.
feel like I have no investment in the round at all, and
I
it's
guess
like
it
it
is like
feels
that.
like it's over, and it's like
It
wait,
does-
it's over already.
Yeah, it does feel like very quickly you've known if you've won or
Yeah.
lost.
I feel like if they just added, if you had to get 3 of them,
Yeah.
I think that would be the perfect.
Well, did you do the tournaments at all?
No,
That was
was
a
that
little
like
better.
more similar to that?
Well, it was not that, but it was progression.
Okay.
So like you would first start out with fucking, I don't know, I don't forget what it was, but I think you would start out with more teams and it would
Okay.
hone down into smaller teams.
Ooh, I
it
like
was
that.
like you'd go
Almost
to the next
like
round.
that. Oh, okay.
And it was like, okay, now there's only 4.
Oh, that's
And you go to
cool.
the next one, and now it's only fucking you
Well, that
versus the
sounds
other
cool.
team. And that was better because it made it feel like a longer overarching thing.
Yeah.
Because, I definitely got that vibe in finals, like where it definitely felt like 10 minutes in,
Yeah.
you could stop playing
Yes.
or you won.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. There was
Yeah.
no like in between. It was like, it didn't feel like there wasn't a lot
I didn't
of
feel like there were no stakes, or I just
No.
didn't feel.
yeah. Yeah. It felt very much so like, all right, go next.
Oh, it's
You know,
over.
go next, go
Yeah.
next, go next,
Yeah.
go next, go next. Yeah,
Yeah.
like fucking let's keep doing these things. I don't know. Those it kind of reminds me of like I get that vibe from even like BRs.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like who fucking
Too
cares?
long?
No,
Oh,
like
no,
who cares?
no stakes.
Yeah, there's no stakes.
Yeah.
You either
Yeah.
win or you don't. Like, and you're not like fucking in it to win. Like, if you get to the end, you get your battle royale. Like, that's not really. It doesn't really feel like much.
I always felt like the getting the victory royale in Fortnite always felt really good. But when we would play PUBG together
Yeah.
before Fortnite,
getting that chicken
every
soup.
time we'd get that chicken, every time we get the chicken dinner,
Winner-
it was like
chicken dinner,
it was
yeah,
like,
winner,
oh,
winner.
we
It's
got
over?
it. Like
Yeah.
really, like it felt like so
Yeah.
underwhelming.
Yeah.
But do you think like for maybe like match based games, like did you feel like Counter-Strike was too long?
depended.
Okay.
I think Counter Strikes could feel long, but
Yeah.
Counter Strike I think has it. I mean, they obviously have they got the juice. You know,
Yeah.
they know what they're doing.
They know, yeah.
You know, like they got that.
They've
shit
been
down.
cooking.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because those games do feel really good.
They
You
do.
know, like you,
And it is
you-
a lot shorter than Dota too.
It is, but and I think the fact that anybody can win any given round
Yeah.
is really smart.
Okay.
So like, even if you got smoked the last round,
Yeah.
you could fuck up. You could
come back.
smoke them the next
Yeah.
round. You know, like
Yeah.
it was like a fresh restart. I think that's a really smart way of doing it because it as long as you as a player can avoid the tilt.
Yeah.
You know, like there is no in-game. Well, there's a little. I mean, obviously economy and fucking
Yeah.
shit like that, but it's less than like Dota, where like if they farm you guys for the first fucking 15 minutes and they're fucking 10,000 gold ahead of you and fucking 5 levels,
Yeah.
like
You're fucked. I
Good
think
luck.
that's like I was also thinking about that today too, is like one of the worst feelings about Dota, at least like the way I've seen games in recent years, is it's always a stomp
Yes.
one way or the other.
yeah, there's
It
not a lot
doesn't-
of swings as much anymore. I
Yeah.
think in pro games you see more
Yeah.
swings because they're
Right.
professionals.
But like, do you ever have like a game like it's like you win and like it's never like, damn, like that was a good game of Dota. Like
Yeah, it's
that,
usually you
that
just
was
kick the shit
that
out
was
of 'em.
really tough.
Yeah,
Like it was just like
no, you usually
unless
just farm
something
them.
funny happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
usually-
either you got the shit kicked out of you,
yeah.
or
And and then you want, and then being on the other side of that too.
Yeah.
You know, when you just get fucking stomped in the ground, like it's
Yeah.
never a good feel. Like
No.
you know, but like I said, and then you got games like I said with Counter-Strike where it's like, yeah, you can get stomped that round, but you can come back the next round and
Yeah.
get a fucking 4K. You know, and you're
Winning
like, fuck
winning
you
feels
guys.
good in Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, and I think too one of the things with Dota that's tough too is like those, and I think probably again lends itself to toxicity is those games are like knowledge checks.
Yes, there's so
So,
much knowledge.
Yeah, so like you could lose the game before
Yeah.
it starts.
Yeah.
You could lose off the draft.
Yeah.
Like if you miss draft,
Yes.
you lost.
Yeah.
Like there are characters who just straight up beat other characters. Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you fucking picked, Void Voker into,
Void
fucking whatever, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
like you just picked the wrong lineup. Sorry. Like go next.
Like this is terrible.
This is a bad
Let me
lineup.
out of this. I'm
Doesn't
locked into
matter
this
if we're
for an
fucking-
hour.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you pick 5 carries, you
Yep,
assholes?
yeah, so yeah, like we don't have the roles we need. We don't have any, we don't have one fucking stun on our team. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, how are we gonna fucking lock anyone down? They got fucking Slark, and what are we doing here?
I think everyone else also like predisposition to be like in the super defensive mode. It's like, hey, Pudge, do you
Yeah.
mind coming down to
Fuck
bot
you.
lane and ganking? How
Yeah.
fucking dare you report it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a great indicator of the toxicity of Dota is that most people are just have themselves muted.
Yeah.
Most people are just entirely muted. Imagine playing an online team-based game where you're
Yeah.
purely muted. Like you don't even
That
want
requires coordination.
Yeah, you don't even want the option
hey,
to talk to
we're
your team. It's
going
like
now.
you don't even try and say hello.
Yeah.
You don't even test the waters. Just
It
like,
is
nah,
bad.
I'll just shut the fucking door.
Well,
Like,
what is the fucking deal with one like issue that we've seen is like Spanish speaking players,
yeah.
usually
Yeah, language
Peruvians,
barrier.
like why are they queuing onto my team on this like heavily communication based game? Like why do I have fucking 3 people who
don't speak English?
speak English? Like why did that happen? Like I queued in for America. I queued in as there's a button
Yeah.
for me to click English.
yeah.
And
None of
now
my
I can't
teammates speak
talk with my
English.
team.
Yeah.
How do we win
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, in those games that is really tough. Like when you get people who like,
Yeah.
and it can't be fun for them either.
Yeah. No.
To not be able to communicate with their team. Like, 'cause
I wonder
they're-
why they do that.
I think it has something to do with the quality of their servers.
Probably.
Is my guess.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I guess.
I mean, I don't mind playing against Peruvians.
Yeah, it's
like
like-
I always like just imagine that my
can't-
other team is
Yeah,
Peruvian
yeah.
always.
You're
like I
can
assume
beat
they
them.
are.
I can beat them. No, yeah, I think it has something to do with the quality, or maybe queue times.
And they're picking Riki
100%.
or Sniper.
100%. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're fucking already.
Pango.
Yeah, if you've been fucking locked in carry. if
It's
you've
like
been
great,
fucking-
we got fucking Riki.
Yeah. Thanks. Riki actually fucks now.
Does he? Yeah, I've seen him fucking go
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, he's much better. now.
Pango is disgusting though. I
He-
cannot.
He's a
He's
good
so
character
hard.
too.
He's
Yeah.
a motherfucker.
Just rolling around.
Yeah, that game's not fun. I'll install it right now and show you that it's not fun.
Yeah, we could play a couple games
Yeah.
if not fun.
We could just show you
Yeah,
that
just
it's
quick,
not
just
good.
a quick touch of it. Yeah, no, that definitely. But yeah, I think that definitely lends itself to the
the gameplay
negativity.
itself.
Yeah, it's just like you're stuck in there for a long amount of time.
Yeah,
Teammates, and like I said, anything with
Teammates.
teammates. I think anytime you can blame something that happens on your side on someone
Yeah.
other than yourself
Yeah.
lends itself to toxicity.
Yeah.
Like fucking Siege and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those guys are fucking toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
Like they're not having a good time.
No.
You know, like they're fucking Overwatch is
Yeah.
the most vile group of people on
Is
the
it
planet.
really?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're just like they're just a horrible group of people. Like there is nothing nice being said among them. Like they're just horribly toxic to each other. And it's because I think it's because of that time-based thing. The games can be longer in Overwatch.
yeah,
It is also a game that has a knowledge check in it. So like it's easy to blame other people too. Like with games like that, with I think games that like I'm all for scoreboards. I am
Yeah.
addicted to scoreboards.
Yeah.
There's my button
You
for
wanna
the
see.
scoreboard is pressed more than any even fucking W.
Yeah.
You know, like I love looking at the scoreboard.
yeah,
That being said, I do think scoreboards and things like KD in games
yeah.
lend themselves to toxicity as
Okay.
well. Because like people get like
Or DPS checks.
yeah, like fucking yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
like I mean,
What were you doing?
they lowered it. They got rid of some of it in Overwatch 2, but Overwatch used to have the fucking medals.
Okay.
So you could see like
Yeah.
fucking bronze damage, shut the fuck up, idiot. You know, like
Yeah.
like get the
Oh,
fuck out. You
shit.
know, like
Yeah.
what are you fucking talking about? You got fucking 6 kills. You know, like you
Yeah.
didn't do shit. And it's like, oh, it's fucking. You know, it's like shut up. You know, like you
Damn.
lose all validity
Yeah.
if you didn't have fucking golds.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Even if you had the golds, you're just toxic either too. So like there was no. It didn't really
There's no
have a
winning.
benefit of having that in the game. So, you know, but that being said, I love the leaderboards. I love seeing all that shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, you know, same thing with KD. Like I remember there was fucking Hunt Showdown has, you know, fucking KD
Okay.
in a fucking BR.
Yeah.
It's a battle royale.
Why?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Why is there a KD?
Yeah.
Why are we tracking people's KD? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's a weird thing to have. Like everyone should be playing to win, not to not die
be
and have more
Ws.
kills.
Yeah.
You should be playing to win.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a little bit different here because it's an extraction or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still you're dropped into a map. You have to fucking extract with the
Yeah.
win. There's one person usually who leaves.
yeah,
I mean,
it
you can
doesn't
leave
matter.
early and stuff, but it boils down to that. I mean, Tarkov has a KD.
Right.
It's fucking ridiculous. Why? You get and it also it's based off of your scavs too.
Okay.
So it's like
So how the fuck?
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like I
you're
could go in the
killing
factory and kill
bots?
30 scavs. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that does it. So now I have
Cool.
a 30 KD.
Yeah.
You know, like what is No, you don't. Like
Yeah.
how many PMCs you kill? How many players have you killed?
Jeez.
You know, and it lends itself to like those people. It creates a number that people will chase because if
Okay.
it's in the game,
Yeah.
you're going to look at it and you're going to think about it. And it just makes it less fun because
Yeah.
you're just like,
Do you
like,
think it makes it less fun for you? Like, but you just
I
said
am
that you're
addicted
obsessed
to
with
it.
it.
I know I
but
love
you
it.
think it makes, but
I think it's like the same thing as like high and low.
okay.
It makes it feel good when I'm
Double-edged
winning,
sword.
but I do hate like in Tarkov, we've been questing now on
Yeah.
all the fucking maps that we hate, like playing
Okay.
fucking woods and streets and shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of fucking retards sitting in trees, like who give clearly like a fucking 1 KD, those
Yeah.
fucking losers, you know, but it's just, they're tough map. They're different. They're not very like gunfighty maps. Like
Okay.
you're not like getting into like cool fights. You're usually just walking and get shot in the fucking
get
side of the
just
head
fucking-
and you box
yeah.
screen.
Okay.
But doing that for the past couple of days, like our fucking KD and survival rating has gone down.
Okay.
And that feels bad.
Okay.
You know, it makes
Oh,
it
right.
worse. Like I
Yeah.
hate the map and then
Yeah.
I hate looking at my
You guys are
character.
analyzing stuff.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
but that's what you do. Like you look at that number and you're like, oh, motherfucker. Like, it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
So like if you
Dopamine
just,
down.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. Number go down bad,
Number-
you know, like,
yeah.
you know, like you
Bigger
don't like,
number better.
Yeah. Bigger number better, you know, like, but so like, I think at the end of the day, the takeaway from that is like, just don't fucking have it.
Don't.
Because
Yeah.
it's not a good exchange. You
Right.
know, like you would still be happy killing people,
Yeah.
you know, even if there was no KD, you know,
Yeah.
you'd be happy with it. There'd be you wouldn't be like, oh, I don't have a number. I can't see my KD, so I don't care to kill
Yeah.
people. You would still want to win. You would
Yeah.
still want to fucking kill people. You know, like I do think scoreboards are good. I think there's probably some way you could limit it to make games less toxic and stuff. Like make
Yeah.
it so it's, I don't know. I think Overwatch 2 tried it. Theirs is less now. Like you don't see, I don't think you can see like overall damage done. I don't know. I forget what they did. They made
Okay.
it so it's like a lesser version of the
A
scoreboard.
little less triggering.
Yeah, there's not a giant fucking gold medal
Yeah.
next to your name when you're in
Telling
first
you
anymore.
that someone sucked ass.
Yeah, like so the guy doesn't. You don't see the fucking like bronze
Yeah.
damage, and you're like, what? Like, fucking Zarya's doing more damage than you. You know, like fucking Zenyatta
Yeah.
did 10K
God,
more
dude.
damage. You fucking idiot. You're like the healer's out damaging you. You know, it's like you're playing fucking Moira, dude. You hold right click and you do damage. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have to aim. You know, like, but yeah. So, I don't know. I think that definitely games that have that
Yeah.
definitely link.
There's
to
a lot
that
of
toxicity.
there's a lot of elements that like I mean that's just a part of gameplay, and so you know it kind of lends itself to our idea that gameplay can lend itself
yeah,
into a
it's-
toxic community.
Yeah, it's definitely
But-
attached to the game. It's not entirely the genre. It's like a mix
Yeah.
of things that do it.
Yeah.
And forcing yourself in into that mentality where you're focused on that stuff, where you're fucking looking at all those fucking numbers. I mean, like fucking like Elite Dangerous, super cool game,
Yeah.
cool community. There's none of that.
Yeah.
You could be asking for fuel and you could be a pirate,
yeah.
but they don't know that. There's
Right.
no like fucking hit, stat tracker on your
Yeah.
ship. They don't know what you've done. They don't know that you're fucking hunting players and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like,
That's what you do.
yes.
Right.
Yeah. I was not a friendly player.
Yeah.
But Elite Dangerous is weird. 'cause
But
you can just play
we're chill
offline.
people. Oh,
Yeah.
right. And you can play offline.
You're online, but offline.
Yeah.
Like you can't be like fucking players can't get to you unless you want them to.
Okay. Right.
So, but that being said, like it just never, it didn't have that vibe. I mean, same thing with fucking Chivalry.
Yeah.
Chivalry, there was no seeking. All there was just your fucking rank of your character.
Yeah.
That was it. There is no KD. Like imagine having a KD in Chivalry. How toxic that would be.
That'd be terrible.
It'd be
I would
awful.
love that though.
I
would
same.
fucking love
Same. I
that.
love number.
Oh,
I love
I would
looking at those
gloat.
things. Yes, but imagine how much that would change the game.
So much.
The play style.
Yeah.
Would people just be like running Meat Grinder in? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Like because it changes the way people play. Like Hunt Showdown. fucking people hiding in bushes and fucking standing in thing because they're worried about a stupid fucking number next to their character.
Yeah.
When we could be having some fucking cool ass fights with
Yeah.
lever action
Get the
rifles.
fuck out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's fight. Like don't hide in the fucking house with a double barrel. You
Yeah.
know, like because you want a fucking.
It's the dopamine clicker.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
that having that number and stuff. But like I said, I think, as much as I like it, I think that the negatives outweigh it. And I think that it, like I said, it creates a shitty play style loop,
Yeah.
and it creates a shitty player who's just hungry for that number, hungry for that thing. Like if you just tracked like wins,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
cooler.
like fucking, I think that's a good, like just
I
track
agree.
wins, like just
Yeah.
track your win
Go
rate.
for wins.
Track your survival rating only in
Yeah.
Tarkov. Don't
Yeah.
track fucking, don't track their kills,
Yeah.
because like the first thing every single person does in Tarkov when they get killed is they pull up their profile and they look at their KD and they're like, fucking cheater. Like, you
Yeah.
got a fucking 12 KD, fucking cheater,
Jeez.
like it's just like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
like stop with the fucking, like the Reddit. That's all it is. It's just witch hunting.
Really?
It's just witch
Jesus
hunters.
Christ.
It's just 10,000
Trying to
fucking
find cheaters.
Yes, just 10,000 scrubs mad that they died.
Yeah.
And then looking at their profile and be like, this guy's fucking bullshit. Like they're like, the amount of times I hear like, oh, he's only got 400 hours. I'm like, oh, like only 400 hours?
Only
Yeah,
400?
like, and again, like I've said, like this is not the only fucking shooter. You know,
Yeah.
like you could be good at shooters and just hop on here and fuck you
be
up.
good.
Yes. Like I don't need 10,000 hours in
Yeah.
this game to kill your ass. Like I might not know where the spawns are, but I'm better at shooting than you.
Yeah,
know,
there
like
you go.
So like, but it's all just that fucking number thing. Like they're just like judging
Yeah.
this fucking looking at all those little things, nitpicking.
That's gross.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
just
it
like
doesn't feel good.
no, and like I say, you get crazy about it. I mean, I think fucking like WoW gets the arenas
Yeah.
gets a little bit on that. It's not as bad because like people understand, have a little more knowledge in that. But I think like the new WoW player in PvP is like super concerned about damage meters.
Okay.
Like they're always looking at damage meters
Yeah.
because they like think that
I
that
always
matters.
would when I would go into raids.
Yeah, well,
That's
raids
all
is
I would
different.
check.
Raids is different.
Yeah, okay.
PvP raids, it's directly
Yeah.
related
And
to
I would be
who's
toxic
the best. Yeah,
about
100%.
that.
Yeah, you fucking
You're like,
idiot.
I'm a tank.
Yeah.
Why am I doing more damage than you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but
How dare you?
Yeah, that does. In those, it makes sense. But even in PvP, people come in and be like, "Oh, this guy's not doing any damage." Shit. It's like
Yeah.
he's a fucking rogue. Like he doesn't do fuck tons
Sure.
of damage. He blows people up at once.
Yeah.
Like he just does 400k DPS in a second, and the guy's
Okay.
dead. But he's not doing 10 million damage over 2 minutes. Like you
He's
are
doing
like a pump.
nukes.
Yes. Yeah. So the same thing. I mean, I think they do better with it. I think I don't know. WoW's arena community and PvP community is pretty chill. Like it's like
Okay.
in that median thing
Yeah.
where like they have those.
Well,
they
it's an
diff-
older game.
I think that too.
Yeah.
I think the player base
Yeah.
is linked to that too. I think generally speaking, younger people are more toxic.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like the younger you
Yeah.
are, the more toxic you are.
Fuck
just because-
Gen Z.
Yeah,
I'm just
100%.
joking.
Yeah, fuck them.
No.
But
Fuck 'em.
Well, I just think like when you're a kid, like you're just a heathen.
Yeah.
Like kids
Absolutely.
are monsters.
Yeah.
Kids are absolute fucking
But like
monsters.
WoW is like 30-year-olds now.
Yeah.
And up. So
Yeah.
like Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about like the shit I would say as a kid and just not even fucking think twice about it. Like just like you don't have it, like you don't care. Like
Yeah.
just like you're just even if you listen to fucking you go and listen to like what 10-year-olds are saying to each other and
yeah.
stuff, like it's heinous.
Oh, yeah,
You know, like
the
if an
stuff- yeah,
adult said
Sarah's
it to
a
them,
middle
they'd-
school teacher.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. You'd
So-
be fucking in jail. They'd be like, this
Yes.
guy's a fucking monster. It's like, no, it's just an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like that's just how they talk to each other. Like they just say the most fucked up things to each other. So like I think like, and especially like when you cross into that barrier of like becoming an adult,
Yes.
but you're still a kid and you still
Yeah.
have those tendencies and stuff, but you have the knowledge and like the skill set to
Yeah.
like be more
To
verbose, and
Yeah.
fucking talk and like and you're like, oh shit, like now I can fucking say these things and I still have no qualms with anything in the world. Like I can say whatever I want, and that. When you get that like younger generation in a game, I think that does that too,
Yeah.
which might be the Call of Duty thing. But I think
Yeah.
Call of Duty also has a lot of old Call of Duty heads, like just
I think yeah, Call of especially probably. I mean, more and more people are getting into like PC, but like yeah, like Call of Duty is like the entry level like game that you
Yeah.
can pick up from Walmart. So like go to Walmart and see who is there in the game section.
Yeah.
That's who's fucking playing.
Yeah, it's
you
the
know,
Call-
and
yeah,
like,
like the-
it's like the.
it's like a
I call
stereotypical
it like
gamer.
the car brain. It's like, when you're in a cage and like
Yeah.
you're protected
Yeah.
by these walls.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like so you're just
playing Call of Duty.
You're just a regular fucking
Yeah, just a dude
low entry
eating fucking Doritos, drinking
Yeah,
Mountain Dew,
yeah.
playing Call of Duty.
fingers covered in fucking Dorito Locos Taco. Baja Blast.
Yeah.
But so I think we have a little bit left. I think we're doing good. What was that sound?
I think I just
Okay,
kicked something
okay.
off.
I thought someone was breaking in.
That too.
I was about to grab my gun.
America.
America.
Yeah.
But so I guess I want to talk a little bit more about communities before we move into our
we
hidden
jump.
gem. Our
Hidden
last,
gem, yes.
Yeah, before we. But you know, we see like, you know, in entire game communities, but then there's also, you know, smaller communities. Like for example, like we have created a small community with D&D time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just like it's literally just our friends. And like
curated.
we are all gamers.
Yeah.
But it's a community in itself, and it's just like, you know, kind of chill. And then also we had the brain scans and the
Brain
UPL. So yeah, like a
Yeah,
creator.
you had. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like you always have a community.
Yeah.
Like you're always making.
I'm always
some
creating something and then ghosting them.
Yeah, yeah, and vanishing from
That
the
is
thing. But yeah,
okay.
you're always. I
Yeah.
feel like you've always done that. Like you've always wanted to create like a
Yeah.
group. Like you've always been in charge. Like you know, like you've always been the one like wrangling people together and like.
I
create-
like doing that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like particularly like organizing and like scheduling, but like I do like I need to lead people.
Yeah,
for
you like
some
putting
reason.
together
Like
that
it,
fucking
it
group.
fucking bugs me when I'm
Yeah.
not like leading. It's like I should be the guy.
I should be
Like
lead.
that's why I
Yeah.
made a clan, and then like yeah, like I wanted to run tournaments back in the day before I
Yeah.
realized running tournaments is not fucking fun.
Yeah, it's awful
for me. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So, but yeah, small communities. I don't know if I know you go on Reddit
Yeah.
and you go to like your games subreddit.
Yep.
So you like see the Reddit minority who's super vocal,
Yeah.
and you see like what they talk about. I guess there's also like other small communities that are like more broadly about like games. Like for
Yeah.
example, there's a subreddit called r/games. And I don't know if you go to any of the broad or
No,
do you go
I
to
kind
like
of
our
stay away.
gaming
No,
or
I stay
Okay.
away. I steer away from the big guys. I
Yeah.
kind of like stay, and even I don't even really delve that deep into them, just because
Yeah.
of like you were saying, like it's just like it's the loud minority,
Yes.
just
Well, I
fucking
like-
screaming about little minute things that nobody cares
Yeah.
about. You know?
Yeah.
But you know that stuff is easy to gain traction. You know,
Yes.
like people
Yeah.
love negative shit. You know, they want to see that.
I recently like I like r/gaming more now.
Yeah.
Even though like back in the day it was just memes, and like I like it now because I like to browse new.
You just see
So
what's going on.
and like that subreddit has like no rules, so it's
Yeah.
like very
do whatever you
unadulterated.
want.
Like people just be posting the dumbest ass questions, but it's like kind of interesting. Like I like seeing the dumb questions.
Yeah.
Like I like seeing stupid shit on Reddit versus I was really, really big into when I discovered the r/games subreddit.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, there's a Reddit like r gaming, except
Yeah.
it's not memes. It's only like discussion
Actual games.
and yeah, but I mean, really, all it is now is an advertising platform. So like the moderators are the biggest pieces of shit and delete pretty much everything. If you go on the subreddit right now, I'm not joking. If you go on your computer, go to r/games. Every top post will be from a user named Turbo Strider 27.
Because what they just only allow them. They're just trying to
I
farm their
think
own.
I think it's a bot account like for the industry. Like I think it's like gets some sort
somebody
of
just,
like
bought out
revenue
the
and
whole
it
fucking
it just
subreddit.
posts like essentially and this bot account goes on a few different subreddits.
Yeah.
But games is dominated by this one, and it's like you'll go to one of these threads and it'll be like 12 comments, and you go in, you only see like 2 of them. It's like, oh, like the mods dropped a nuke in here.
Yeah.
Because like, and it's never, their rule is you're not supposed to comment off topic.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to comment anything that's just for humor, but that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, that's a
because there's
very
that shit
loose-
all the time in there, but
Yeah.
they just delete shit that they don't like.
Yeah.
So like I'm shadow banned there.
I'm shadow- yeah.
Like it takes like 10 minutes for my comment to
To
appear.
even show
Like it
up.
has to be like has maximum or minimum letters and is exactly
Gotta do
about
17
this topic
captures.
and hasn't been downvoted in the past 20 days. And I just want to say it used to be a cool place, but
Yeah.
now it sucks because it's just a bot platform. And if I could, honestly, like I would take all of those moderators and create them in Soul Calibur and
Create-
beat them
and destroy
and
them.
destroy them in Soul Calibur.
And Soul Calibur the game. No, I think Reddit's a weird place because
Yeah.
Reddit is like the epitome of like when you're having, it's usually in arguments, but like when you're having an argument with somebody and they latch on to one thing you said.
Yes.
That's what Reddit is.
Yeah.
That is the epitome of Reddit. So like people, I in a real life situation when you're talking to somebody, I am more open to it.
Yeah.
I don't super accept it because like, I don't know. I have I call it I have the 3PD.
Okay.
That's
is that?
the third person disease.
Okay.
That's what I've self-diagnosed
Wait, what do you
myself
mean?
with.
No, tell me about that.
Yeah. So I live in the third person.
Do you really?
Not exactly,
That's
but
actually
I
a
think
thing.
that's how
Yeah.
like if I were to try and explain to somebody
Yeah.
like how I look at things
Yeah.
or like why I don't necessarily like I can like
Yeah.
have like responses to things and
Yeah.
stuff, but
do you
like
feel like you're driving a Gundam?
not like I'm driving, but it's just like I'm not super attached. Like I'm like in a third I'm third
Yeah,
person.
something for you to look up after this. We'll
Gundam-
go into
Gundam
that.
mech.
No, yeah.
yeah, but that's what I like to call it. I call it the 3PD. I got the third person
That's
disease.
cool. You have a name. I have my own name for it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I'm a mech.
When I experience
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, like that's just how I am. So like when I'm talking to people, like I'm like consciously listen, like outside of it, so I'm like able to listen. So, but I understand
Yes.
how most of the time, most people, they're thinking of the next thing they're going to say. They're thinking
Yeah.
about what they're prepping.
We all do it.
Yeah. So like I understand that that's how that's the majority of people. So I understand when you're having a face-on-face conversation with someone, they might just latch on to one of the things you said and they've been formulating that in their head and you now finished, X statement, which had 5 points,
Yeah.
but they're on point 1 still. So
Yeah.
I've made an effort in my life to, when I am having those conversations and I realize those things are happening, I realize now that people don't have the 3PD usually, and they're not seeing everything I'm saying. So like I make a point of stopping at
Yeah.
points to like
Oh, that's
let
cool.
people
Yeah.
digest it. But I only do that in person
Yeah.
because I respect that it happens. Online,
Online.
fucking read it on your own time, retard. You read the next sentence before you respond? What is that's mind blowing to me on Reddit. Like literally, you'll watch people like write like a fucking paragraph, and some fucking monkey will respond with literally one of the things they said. I'm like, are you like just like how'd you
dead.
not get hit by a car
Retarded.
today? Yeah, how'd you not get ran over by a
Smooth.
car? Yeah, like what happened to you? Like read the full like you can do this on your own. Even if you have a fucking third grade education
Yeah.
and you can only read fucking 3. It takes you a day to read a page. Then fucking take a day and read this comment entirely and formulate your thoughts because you can do it on your own time. So that's what drives me crazy about Reddit is that like they do that same shit. People glom on to like singular things
Yeah.
in a text-based format, which is
Yeah.
unacceptable to me. In person, completely okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot when someone's talking to you because you're not going to remember every fucking bullshit that I speak
I don't
out of
even
my
know what you're
mouth.
talking about right
Yeah,
now.
no,
I'm just
I'm
thinking
a-
about what I'm going to say.
100%.
Just kidding.
Yeah. No, and I know me personally. I know I spam speech. Like I just start pouring shit out of me. So and I know that. But like I said, in person, acceptable. I understand that there's a lot going on. You fucking might get distracted. You might have things. But when you're reading a fucking piece of text,
Yeah.
read the fucking text. Read the whole fucking text.
It's easy.
The amount of times that I send a text and I ask 2 questions and I get 1 response, like I want to find the person and kill them. If I ask you 2 questions and you
In
answer,
Minecraft.
yeah,
IRL.
and in real life,
IRL
No,
Minecraft.
it's fucking insane to me. The amount of times I will send a text with seeing you 2 fucking questions, just 2, and they will respond to 1. I'm like, are you a fucking moron?
Goddamn bitch.
Yeah, like are you literally that fucking stupid that you couldn't, your brain shut off
Yeah.
at the first question? You're like, done reading, have to answer. Like, finish the fucking text.
God damn.
Like that shit's crazy to me. Like I said, no, I have no patience for that. Like
Yeah.
that shit, like
It's
instantly.
unacceptable.
Yeah, not okay. If you're reading, fucking read, comprehend the thing. Even if you suck at reading, that's okay.
Yeah.
Take your time, fucking digest the information, use all of it in your response because oftentimes these people are fucking just reiterating things that they've already said or saying things that have nothing to fucking do with anything. And then the masses, it compiles because the next fucking idiot does the same thing on the idiot who only responded to one thing. Well, he reads the first sentence of that next text. And he's like, good. Da, 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 da. And then the next fucking idiot comes in. He's like, oh, good, perfect. Don't read the first. And it's just like, by the end of it, it's like fucking whisper down the alley.
That's
You're
Reddit
like,
101.
Yeah, you're like 10 rows. You're like, this doesn't even have anything to do with the post. Like, you're like, what is happening? Like, they're talking about fucking,
damn
you know,
it.
like space. And it was a fucking, you
It's
know,
a
like,
good description of Reddit.
yeah, like it's literally just like these people get in these fucking like I that's why, like I said, I really don't.
like
I
Special
rarely look at
Olympics.
comments
Yeah.
on Reddit
Oh,
because
I
they
love
just
comments.
oh, it
That's
just
where I
drives me
live.
crazy. Like just watching people like just get on these fucking tangents of like just nothing.
I'm pretty toxic on Reddit personally.
Well, I mean, is there any other way to be on Reddit?
no, yeah, it's a
I mean,
place
that's what
for
Reddit
you
is to be.
have a
to-
keyboard
Get it out.
argument.
Get it out of you. You know. Like,
So I opened today with the Goku no pre-ordering or
Yes.
pledging.
yeah.
So the Steam Playfest is going on
I
right
saw
now.
that, yeah.
So it's like a lot of indie
Yeah,
devs
new-
have like
new shit.
brought out demos and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And one that has been pretty hyped up that I've been following for a while is a new game by ex Blizzard developers. And it's pretty much like a StarCraft 2, Warcraft 3.
Oh, I saw that. The
successor.
RTS.
It's called Stormgate.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah.
I always feel like I'm going to accidentally say the racist website.
oh God.
Stormgate.
Gate.
So they've just had a very successful Kickstarter. They've made $2 million
2 million.
for the Kickstarter. So it's the highest Kickstarter.
Now, who is you said
RTS.
Blizzard? Ex Blizzard.
Ex-Blizzard
What,
does.
have they
They're-
made anything else that I would know?
Not yet.
No, this is it.
So their studio is called Frost Giant. They created it after they left Blizzard, and they also have like about 18 million from investors. Also,
Jeez. So they're gonna fuck it up. Is what you're saying?
They're-
Too much money.
well, here's the thing. So all of these
They're
people
dumb.
have pledged, and it's out in a demo now. But the game looks like absolute shit. And I know, like, we're not. I think that you and I, like, we don't care about graphics.
Yeah.
But like, art
Well,
style
there's-
does matter
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all.
To a
That's with a
degree.
grain of salt.
with
Yeah.
a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah, 'cause it's like
RimWorld,
there's-
like,
there's
is
a level.
programmer
Yeah.
art. But like, you know, like that's cool that you're coming out with this like ultra competitive like RTS that's in you are going to put a story in it, which is important for a lot of consumers.
Yeah.
Like to get a game going, like never go esports first.
No.
Um,
Yeah. I mean,
but
good look
the-
sell.
But it looks so bad. Like it has no soul to it. I want you to look at it. Can you,
All right, let's
can you
see.
pull up
Let's
some
see.
screens of it? It just looks so
Yeah, I
bland.
mean-
And like I was into it at first. Like I was like, this is cool that they're making this. But like now that I've seen it and played it,
It's called Stormgate, right? Oh, Helldivers too. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
that game looks
I
kind of
don't.
cool.
Yeah, it does look
Fucking
cool.
bugs.
Yeah,
Stormgate, right?
yeah, Stormgate.
Yeah. No, I mean,
But
I
like,
said,
but this is like the community. Like on the Reddit, everyone's like, it's an alpha or it's a beta test. It's of course
Oh,
it's
of
not
course.
gonna look good yet. I'm like every single comment is like, oh well, thanks for your like everyone is just commenting. Like everyone on the outside is like, hey, the art sucks.
Yeah.
The art sucks. This has no style. This has no soul. And like the comments will be like,
This does
okay,
look pretty fucking
okay,
gross.
it's a beta test, and it's like it's a beta.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a test.
Yeah,
they
listen.
need this feedback.
Yeah, we're giving
It's like,
feedback
don't-
to the game.
It's just
That's
a beta.
don't tell them
Yeah.
to correct anything. Allow them to fail.
Yeah,
This does look fucking
it
horrendous.
looks terrible.
I mean, like maybe they.
I
do.
want it to succeed.
Yeah, because this looks bad in a format like yeah, this might get more, detailed as a beta, but there are certain things when you're saying beta testing that are not part of the beta test.
Yeah.
The core art of the game is
Like
not changing
Yeah, like
in a beta test. Like this, the way this game looks.
no,
this
that's
fucking,
what it's
Donkey
gonna look
Kong
like.
fucking
Yes.
3D render.
But they already have the money, so like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if they
and you
make
can't really
if
increase on
they
that.
make it now.
Yeah.
But,
This looks like a shitty. Oh, this looks like Dota, like 1.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But you can go and look at StarCraft 2 beta
Yeah.
from like 2011.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
looks so much better than
Yeah,
that.
and the core, like I said, the core model of the game is already created. It's not gonna vastly change from this. But yeah,
Yeah.
this does look pretty fucking gross.
Yeah, but hopefully that I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong, but
It'd be cool to get a new RTS.
I would love to play an RTS. I think I think it is very parallel to like fighting games. I don't think RTSs are going to have a golden era like fighting games. I think
No.
fighting games like at the easy level of it, they're very easy to hop into.
Yeah.
They're very easy to like play with someone else who doesn't have any fucking idea what
Yeah.
they're doing. And that, but like an RTS, like, oh shit, like I gotta build I need to build
Yeah,
more
my APMs have dropped. My
overlords.
APM dropped to below 200. I lost the
Yeah.
game.
Oh shit, I need to build a new base and
Yeah.
where we need to construct more pylons.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was. Well, I mean, that's what lost. Why I never got into RTSs
Yeah.
that much is because it became like when I learned. The more I learned about it, the more I realized that it was like just like a memorization
yeah.
game.
But you
like,
played them as a kid though, right?
Yeah,
you
but it
would
was-
play against the computer.
Yes.
That shit was fun.
Yes, but
that's why
I think that's
yeah.
all more of the like we just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Same thing as like the mobile
I
game.
think they were cool though. I don't know. Age of Empires 1 like that. I
It
don't
was
know.
fun, dude.
Yeah.
I remember fucking Red
Yeah.
Alert, dude, and like, do you remember the fucking like the underwater? The
I never played
dolphins?
those.
dude.
No, I never
Red
played
Alert
those.
2 was one
Yeah.
of the fucking. You had spies,
Oh,
and
shit.
you'd have like fucking canines that could like detect the spies. The Russians
cool.
had fucking
And it was an
dolphins.
RTS.
Yep, they had dolphins with like fucking lasers on their head and shit
Holy
that
fuck.
you could use to like detect enemy subs and shit like that.
Yeah.
dude, it was a really fucking cool game. And then like, and then the Russians had like fucking Tesla power and like fucking mind control and shit.
Holy shit.
Like just like crazy, like because it was
I
like
need-
a
I
way.
wanna play this.
It also had
Yeah.
full live action cutscenes
Oh, that's fucking sick.
with like these like fucking D-rated actors.
yeah.
Like doing like the most ridiculous Russian accents you've ever heard in your entire
That's
life.
fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
it was hilarious. It also has a dope fucking
Like
soundtrack.
Stalker.
Yeah. But no, it's cool to see that. I mean, the RTS, like I said, to me, I mean, I know that they're reacting to a lot of it, but to me, when I saw those games and the more I tried to learn about them,
Yeah.
you know, it just looked like it was like, oh, I just
It's
need
steep.
to fucking,
It's steep.
yeah. And it was more like just, you got to pay the tax of memorizing this stuff.
Yeah.
To play the game, and then you apply it to different situations.
Yeah.
To me, and I was like, I don't.
Like,
I
yeah.
just didn't want to pay the tax.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to
Well, I
fucking
could play Tekken and pay that tax.
pay
instead.
that tax.
Yeah, you better pay that tax soon.
I've been slowly
I
watching
know, I
Dragunov
know.
videos, learning.
Speaking of like strategy games, Crusader Kings 3 has quite a roadmap for 2024. So
with 75,000 new horse
so
swords.
there's some new expansions. Like one is this expansion that like really dives into the RPG aspect of the game because guys, Crusader Kings is not hard. It is an RPG game. It is The Sims.
Yeah.
Fuck yourselves. It's
Just-
not hard.
Just ignore the fighting.
Ignore the fighting. Just
'Cause no
death
one knows
stack,
how it works.
Throw a giant stack of men at
Yeah,
the
throw
other
the
stack
bigger
of men.
number. It does, but actually, that's the only thing where bigger number
Yes.
does not matter.
Yeah, no.
because they
Oh, no.
might be on marshes or something, and
Yeah.
the other guy had food yesterday.
Make
so
your
he's-
king a commander and throw him in the army.
Yeah,
there you go.
100%, yeah.
But they have so one expansion that's coming out is you can play an unlanded person. So you can just play a guy that's
Just
just
a dude?
roaming. Yes.
sounds fucking cool.
And they're coming out with a bunch of really cool shit too. But I really want to play again. And I think it would be fun if we could get someone else to play. Someone who's into role playing.
Yeah, and do a fucking
Yeah.
role. I mean, I always enjoyed their games. Those are another one where it's like, I'm cool to sit down and play 4 hours,
Yeah.
but I don't want to commit
Yeah.
to doing it all
Yeah.
at once. But yeah, we always had a good time with that.
Yeah.
You know, another game that's supposed to, I don't know when that's, I haven't looked at a while, but Dwarf Fortress is supposed to have a single player
Oh,
mode.
really? It's coming out soon?
I've seen it before.
Yeah,
It was
the
it's
adventure
in the
mode.
game.
Yeah,
that
the
it's
adventure
supposed to.
mode.
Yeah, that you're supposed to have a single player format
It's a
of the
game
game.
I want to return to bad.
Yeah, I
And
wish
you got to. No, you just play on a harder map. Just play where there's aquifers everywhere. and-
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, even if I play with the Aquaforce, the end
Yeah.
goal is what I did.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm just dodging
You beat it.
Aquaforce.
Gotta wait for adventure mode.
Yeah. I mean, it would be more challenging, definitely, and anything can happen. Like I could get fucking, mosquitoes on the first day or whatever.
Yeah.
But the only thing that burns it out for me a little bit was just that, like, I'm still just, aiming to get magma power and fucking
Yeah.
farm. It's like the end game is still the end game. It's just the route you take there is different. So, but I got to that end game, which I wish
The
I did.
journey is cool though.
The journey
You
is
like the
cool.
journey?
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. I like the journey. I realized that when I told my friend Prawn, thanks for the sub, Prawn.
Thanks.
I told him that I'd only seen Two Towers in Return of the King once, and I saw them when they were in theaters. But I had watched Fellowship of the Ring many, many times. And he's like, well,
I like
you
the
love the journey.
Yeah.
That means you love the journey.
Yeah. That's a good
You know,
point.
not the destination. I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I could see that. Like, I've definitely, like, I've played RimWorld,
Yeah.
a million
fun
different
trying
run-throughs.
With the super hard start and
Yep.
trying to just
But
get up at all.
Yeah, but I do think that RimWorld has a little more dynamicness.
It does.
Just because you can do like in Dwarf Fortress, at the end of the day, you're still going to be farming X resource, creating X product, selling it for gold to buy this. You know, like how you one of the you're going to do that in some different way. In RimWorld, like
It's a story.
yeah, you could do whatever. There is no fucking. You don't need to make money. You don't need to sell shit. You could be a fucking single dude, living with rats in a fucking hole. You know, like
There's a lot of
I've been
role
there.
playing elements too.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
cool.
Like I've been the Rat King.
Yes.
I've died and been eaten by my 10,000 rats, and it was an awesome playthrough. I fucking loved it. You know, like watching my character get eaten by the fucking rats that I raised for the past decade. You know, as my sociopath walks around in the dark. You know,
Losing
like,
is fun.
yeah, it is. It's cool. But I didn't even. I didn't have. You know, like I didn't have a goal in that game. You know, like I wasn't like in Dwarf Fortress, you're still fighting. You know, you want to become the biggest city. You know, like in RimWorld, you could be like, I just want to be a dude with fucking rats. You
Same
know?
with like Crusader Kings. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like I've rolled this psychopath character. Well, I'm gonna play him.
Yeah, there
like,
is no- there
I'm
is
gonna
no
play him
s-
as a psychopath.
Yeah, and there is no end game.
No, yeah.
There is no end game. You know, so like games like that, yeah, you can just fucking do whatever you want. You know, like I think. You know, like some of those games, they lose. You know, you lose a little bit of the fun when
you
you
hit
like
the
when
goal.
you know the end game.
I think
you know,
that's like sometimes my problem with like Crusader Kings is like I love when I'm like, you know, just playing a character.
like a vassal.
But like, yeah, like as a vassal, but like always as a vassal, I can't help it. I got to become king.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like that is
striving.
always what I'm just beelining. Like I'm doing everything I can. I'm fabricating claims.
Yeah.
And I'm moving up. I'm like, okay, now I'm a duke. All right, well, now what can I do? And I had a really good run as this little I was a vassal in Spain. And I think I was maybe part of France. And I got myself up and finally like I was able to succeed from France, and then I was also separate from Spain. But then it was like once I was that, it was like, well,
Now
now
what?
I'm just a kingdom.
Now I have to do
by myself.
everything. Yeah, this
Yeah,
isn't
like
cool.
what
There's
is
nobody
what
I
is-
can steal
What is
from.
my goal? Yeah, like you know.
I guess world domination.
So do we have a hidden gem?
Well, do you want me to say one or do you want to say one?
I don't know if I have one.
I have one.
You have one?
Yeah,
What is it?
Pulsar.
Oh, Pulsar. We should go back to that.
Pulsar.
I think Ben has it too.
We actually recently
Yeah.
played it again,
Really?
and it seemed pretty cool. It seems like it has a lot more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a really. I think that was like one of the like initial co-op experiences in a
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're just like fucking like Lethal Company, like all these games that
Yeah.
they do now. You know, like I think that was like one of the OGs of that. Like without even knowing it, I don't think people that game
Like
it
a
went
crew
completely
game
under the
before there were
radar.
crews and
Yeah, like in like you're working together to do things and stuff. Like it was just and it did have like a story kind of element to
Yeah.
it, like where you felt like you could like kind of like role play a little. Like it was just it had some cool shit, you know, going on. It had like, you know, oh shit. But yeah, no, I think Pulsar was a fucking
Pulsar
a
was
lot.
sick.
Yeah,
USS Cancer.
yeah, again, brought back.
Again.
Yeah, no, we actually, like I said, we recently went back and they have a fuck ton of stuff
Really?
right now. Yeah, like there's way more stuff.
I'd like to try it again. I had a lot of fun when we played it, and when we played it, like when it first came out,
There was nothing.
We felt like we had like went to a planet, and like once we figured out, we're like, wait,
There's nothing,
nothing
more
here.
Yeah,
But it was still fun.
It was just very raw. I
Yeah.
think now it has a lot more to it, but
Okay.
I think that was a cool game that had like it had a lot of what I think makes those games popular now, like that fucking, you know, co-op team-based play
Yeah.
where you're like, you know, everyone's got a role, everyone's got like a fucking cool little mission going on. You all need to it has progression. You know, back then it didn't have as much, you know,
Yeah.
there wasn't as much going on, but you know, that was a fun game in its time. It was
Hell
fucking
yeah.
cool. And space. I
Space.
fucking love space
Space
games.
is fucking sick.
Fuck Starfield.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah, not
love
Starfield.
space games. Yeah. Like I wish I mean, I think we all do. I mean, we're all still waiting for Star Citizen.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
like everyone wants
hope it works
a
out.
fucking space game.
I don't think it's going to, but I hope it does.
I guess it's just because it's such a crazy, you know, it is the final frontier in
Yeah,
all
that's it.
senses. You
Yeah.
know, like it really is a hard thing to
Yeah.
do in a game, I guess. I mean, it just seems like it is because it's like, I mean, Elite Dangerous.
The space is supposed to be boring.
Yeah.
Shut
yeah,
the
it's supposed
fuck
to-
up, Todd Howard.
Yeah, space is supposed to have loading screens.
Fucking asshole.
No, yeah, I think Elite Dangerous came close
Yeah.
to having it had some of the pieces.
Yeah.
Like the piloting, the fucking
Piloting
the
was fun,
immersion
yeah.
of the flight simulating and everything
Yeah.
was like incredible. The fucking the world itself, like it literally was an infinite universe.
Yeah.
You know, like they had some of the pieces. It just needed more of the like, you know, the interaction,
Yeah.
like the ability to be a person in the game and
Yeah.
not just a ship.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
You
what a
were
lot of
ship.
these games do. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
it's cool. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun, but your your immersion does not leave the being just
Yeah.
the ship. Like
I
you
want
are
to I want a game where like I'm a person and I'm on a crew on a ship.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
or not. Or you're not on
Or
it. Maybe
not,
you're
yeah,
a
by
fucking
myself.
miner on a
Yeah.
fucking planet.
Yeah.
Like true open world fucking space game.
Yeah.
You know, like where you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like you want to
Yeah.
fucking land on this planet and become a farmer.
Wasn't
Like,
that like no? I was thinking of Marauders, but I don't know if
Marauders
that
has
sucks.
the fucking has space. I didn't
Yeah.
ever actually see because it was just riddled with hackers, so it was like
Okay.
unplayable.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Tarkov.
Right. Yeah.
It's like space punk,
Extraction.
space
Okay.
punk Tarkov because
Okay.
you like actually pilot your ship to the
Yeah.
raid. So you
Okay.
can be like killed in your there's like ship combat
cool.
prior to it
Yeah.
seemed very cool. It was just like I said, riddled with hackers, like really
Okay.
bad. And I think to a point where it just like actually killed the game. Like everyone
Okay.
just was like, okay.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah, like just too much. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Space game, I think like I said, I think if you're gonna like if there was I like when I see all these new games coming out and stuff and shit, like they look cool, like fucking Helldivers, like yeah, it looks cool. Fucking Power World's fine. Fucking look
I might
what's
try Helldivers. People have been talking about it.
Yeah, it
Got
looks
mixed
fun.
reviews, but
people are it's crashing. It's not about the
crashing.
gameplay.
Okay, well that's it.
Yeah, they're just review bombing because they're mad about crashes, which
Well,
fucking go on Reddit,
Get
dude.
fucking good. Get
Go
a
on
fucking
Reddit.
Beast PC.
Go on Reddit and cry
Yeah.
where you belong.
you
But
fools.
yeah, but yeah, no, I think fucking make a space game. Make
That's
a
it.
real fucking
Give
like,
us a space game.
yeah, that'd be fucking dope. Just Star Citizen.
Star
Just make
Citizen, but real.
Yes, but a real game, not
But
fucking
real
bait.
and not what created NFTs.
Yeah.
That's my theory. I'll bring that up sometime, but I think that
That's the
Star
basis?
Citizens was the original
NFT.
NFT. It's fucking buying those shits. Literally think about it.
It is,
fucking
yeah,
think
just
about
not
it.
a real thing that we
Yeah.
all paid for.
It was NFTs. It just wasn't on a.
It didn't have a name.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was just called Star Citizen back
Citizen.
then. It's like, we used to
Star
call
Citizen,
NFTs
baby.
Star Citizen.
Well, I got a 30,000.
yeah.
But
yeah.
cool.
Well,
Fucking.
have we done it?
I think we might have.
Yeah.
I'm Base Justice.
And I'm Bam with 6 M's.
And thank you for listening to the Mostly Negative podcast. And please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you guys have any thoughts, please let us know down in the comments. And bye forever.
Yeah, bye forever.
Go fuck yourself.